Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you
Okay,
fine.
perfect.
That works.
Perfect. We got to keep our volume a little bit quieter today, just because. Yeah, they don't. We're not going to be nearly as close. So, receiving your content. It will be ready in a moment. Driz and Aaron, they already know.
I'll just commentate with one ear off. It makes it easier.
Good. Get this all started. Looks like stream is live here. I'm gonna try to push it onto the channels. Everybody, welcome to the top 8 of the new the GP here in Atlanta. Super excited. We're gonna get this pushed over to the pages that we need to get it pushed to, and we'll be starting with top 8 will be Driz Foskin versus Aaron Miles. So this is IU Aggro versus the Lumia list that's been doing very, very well. So there we go. Copy link. I'm just gonna push this over to Facebook. All right. We're going to be getting started. They're taking a little break. They just did their deck checks. Everybody was good for deck checks, no problem. Obviously, we won't have the deck list, I mean, other than online. Day 2 coverage for top 8 is live. Aaron Miles on Lumia.
I'm personally excited to see this matchup.
Yeah, I'm very excited too.
I've tested a lot of matchups with the command list, but IU Burn is not one of them, so
What?
I really want to see.
What are those? Oh, you stole one of my things? Oh, that's fine. Just put it back.
IU Burn is like one of the few matchups I haven't actually tested with it, and even when I was talking to On Tilt about how they felt the matchup went, they were like, "We've never tested it either." So I was like, "All right, this is gonna be fun."
Yeah, so this is gonna be an interesting to kind of see here. I'm gonna see when these bad boys are ready to go.
It's really interesting because in a way they both could be classified as combo-y.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could both be combo-ish decks.
Yeah, like Lumia ramps up into a top end, and IU is just trying to kind of kill you as fast as possible. But with
we tried to minimize the glare as much as possible here, just everybody knows. We're also going to be talking a little bit quieter just to make sure they can't hear us over at the table. There is other sound going on, but we're just trying to be careful.
Yeah, we don't want them to
prediction, I think that... I really honestly think that any of these three rulers could still come out on top. I think Driz probably has the highest bar to like jump over.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot. I mean, just because his deck has natural variance, like to the most extreme.
I do think that because most of the OTG members are not maining Foresights, they're siding them. I think that Driz has a pretty easy game 1 against Lumia Command. So if he hits only Lumia Command throughout the day, he might have a decent time. I do think that IU is favored here, but as I said, I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yes, Rob.
But as far as fair, I think that the fair lists are going to be favored over both the green black and the Bant fair lists are going to be favored over his IU build. So it really ends up being kind of what the matchups are for him, and then obviously, you know, even though he's playing maybe a slightly favorable matchup, he's also playing against Aaron Miles, who's probably the best American player. So yeah, obviously our reigning Masters champion and world champion from 2 years ago. So, but as I said, he doesn't main Foresight, so game 1's going to be pretty rough. He has to buy enough time to be able to get his command off, and while Driz can't really interact with him very much, he also doesn't. He only runs the birds as flyers and the Melfies, and that's pretty much his only answers to IU, meaning that if Driz can successfully continue to play his use his Pierce Resonator and be able to retrieve it through Spider's Web, and I don't know if he runs Darkcrest, but he could use Griefing Elf Spirit or Spider's Web for sure. It's going to be really hard for Aaron to win game 1 with only Melfi as a way to as an out. The Lumia command lists, their kill turn is a little bit later because they can stall out most decks, but because IU is so J-Ruler focused, it's really hard to stall out that specific deck, especially considering it's a burn build, which burn is a deck that Lumia command is historically weak against in general. So, once the Foresight's coming out of the main, it helps because, again, Lumia Command's just trying to buy till their kill turn. So when you have Foresights and IU only has 3 counter spells in the whole, or cancel spells in the whole deck between Fairy Spell, Otherworld Dreams, and Severing Winds. And Severing Winds doesn't really do much against Foresight. You end up having somewhat of an issue where Driz is going to struggle in games 2 and 3 to be able to fight through those Foresights before Aaron can kill turn on the Fairy's Command. But Aaron only runs 2 Fairy's Commands, so it's also a question of whether he sees them fast enough too. If he doesn't see them fast enough, then he's going to end up having to he's going to have to push enough damage without a command. He doesn't run Rendezvous, he doesn't run most of their win cons. They run one Mosasaurus, which helps to a degree, but Mosasaurus isn't super great against IU in the first place, so it's more meant for the Fair matchup, and it's really, really good against Fair. I was actually testing Shayla's command list a long time ago, or not a long time ago, a couple weeks ago, and Mosasaurus just does a lot of work against Fair if they flip and lock down all their stuns, but against IU specifically, because IU doesn't really necessarily need its stone base once it's flipped, and you can't get it, obviously, you can't get the Mosasaurus out before it's flipped. In my opinion, it probably gets sided out for the Foresights in general, so we'll see. We're about to get started. Driz is already at the table. Aaron's getting his photo taken with Brandon and Tyler. And then we should be started pretty soon. Let me check the chat in the meantime. Oh yeah, no problem. The deck list of yesterday's Fox. I can talk to Frank to see if we can get top 16 or something posted. We do have the standings for 16, so we might be able to do it. It looks good. Sorry, Jeremy's asking me about how the stream looked. Do you guys like it? How it's angled and stuff like that? Because we can't adjust it once the round starts, but in my opinion, it looks good. Okay, thanks, John. We're gonna try to limit the glare as much as we can. In the future, we're gonna try to have a tent so that the glare is significantly lessened. And you can't see the table? What do you mean? Is there an issue with the table? Konbanwa to you too, 307. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. The camera's on me. Ignore that entirely. Alright, so the table does look fine. Change the name of the stream. No, okay, so I'm just sitting in Jeremy's chair for right now, but he's going to be sitting in this chair once we get, Sorry, I didn't realize, I didn't think about that my face was on stream and somebody just pulled this cord. 1 second. Am I still live? I think I'm still live. Just can somebody make sure to let me know? Somebody just pulled our cords down. Okay, thank you. I'll have, once Jeremy gets back, I'll have him kind of probably tape it down to the table. Just to make sure, because people are playing right next to the cords. So. Alright, so we're basically getting started right now. I need to change this over to the gameplay. But let me make sure with Jeremy that that's okay really quick. Hey Jeremy, can I change it over to gameplay?
I mean, that's like how much a normal Uber is.
You might want to take this down.
You want that gold Uber, you gotta give me gold.
What do you mean?
These are right next to the ports.
Ask him for a Bitcoin.
What do you mean?
Just one Bitcoin?
What do you mean? Take it
The
down?
whole USB thing. Just
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
we got pulled.
Sweet.
Just want to make sure that it doesn't like get pulled again.
Right.
Back in the game board that I don't know about.
Sitting right in front of you.
Yeah, I'll tell Dre.
What does he do?
Alright, so we're about to get started. So we're going to do as much as we can to kind of prevent this clear.
Where's this +2? It's like, what are the top 3? Or draw
Where
3
we've
plus
tried
2
to
pack.
kind of fix the angles a little bit to make it better.
Okay. Here we go. Timer hasn't started yet. Don't worry about that. We'll be getting here soon. As soon as they're ready to go.
Laying the foundation.
Let's take a look at these prize cards, shall we? We'll show these on screen if we can. Once we, probably in between rounds, we'll show you guys what we got.
So, like, of course,
Absolutely.
everyone was
They
like,
look
you just laying the
beautiful.
foundation and then like block with a Cheshire cat. And I'm like, yeah, that's how that's gonna work.
Is there a second gold Keurig event? Oh yeah, we got Dawn of the Airs.
Oh no!
Oh man, those are gorgeous.
I'm gonna show them off on stream between rounds.
I just realized that if we both gave each other all of each other's cards back, I wouldn't have a ruler.
The Jace the Mind Sculptor is Aaron Miles' energized.
Energized
I don't
token.
know
Yep.
where mine is.
You are allowed to use anything other than a Forcible card as your energized token.
Yep.
Unless you're, or anything that you're using for any other reason. Like you can't use a Force Dice or something for energized token. But you
Yep,
can
so they're
use,
shuffling up. His time started. One round. Okay, so time has not started yet on round.
they're
Just waiting for that. They'll still get.
I was like, Jerry, what the hell? Why was
They
I on
re-sleeved
screen?
Drizz's deck, so they're making sure to give it nice and good shuffles. And not only that, they still get some time to look at each other's deck list
Oh,
once
they
the
haven't
round
seen their deck
starts.
list yet?
I don't think they've seen deck lists yet.
Set my record.
Oh, they're
Okay.
I'm 21 and 2 on stream.
re-sleeve. So we'll let you know when we start the round. And
I'm
Aaron was high. I think Drizz was higher seed,
Yeah,
so
Drizz
he
higher
has to
seed.
go first.
He doesn't have to go first. He gets
Start
to
the time.
choose.
And 60 minutes right now.
I got that name right.
Here we go. Let's see how it goes. As we were saying before, I think going first, I think, is okay for Drizz here. The problem is Aaron Lumialist against IU
As you can tell, I was
has an
really
advantage
excited
in the
about my
fact
side.
that
Got the
like
last
IU
second.
just doesn't get to resolve
Like, took it out,
anything.
final battle. Looked at my
Like
deck,
Aaron
realized
doesn't
I
have
couldn't
to
find a
play
final
Counter
battle,
Wars
but
because
it's
IU
still
has
easy.
3
Took it out,
counter
put it back,
spells
fell. Thought
total,
about it
Yeah.
again, put back in
whereas
ceiling,
Aaron's
it's all a
playing
matter
like
of,
what,
a minute.
8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So
The
if Lumias start resolving, it's real bad for Drizz.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, that card advantage is just absolutely killer against IU's deck. I do think that I honestly think that IU's a little bit favored because of game 1 specifically because you just have to go so J-Ruler heavy and Aaron doesn't main Amateur's Foresight.
Oh, Aaron's not maining them?
No, he's only sideboarding them.
He's got the Melfies.
He has the Melfies and he has the Divine Birds to force Driz to have a Piercer return. So, but that's his only 2 outs in the main board. But most of the burn that Driz has is not going to really resolve after turn 1 or 2.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the problem because he's running the aggro variant.
yeah, so he has to go so J-Ruler heavy. Now, if he does, I think that he has a really good chance of winning.
What?
It's called Captain Hook. Captain Hook. I actually used him to kill.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be resyncing the time here in just a second.
Yeah, they get 3 minutes to look at each other's deck lists.
Go. Okay.
So they get 3 minutes to look at each other's deck lists. This is standard for top 8 procedure for Grand Prix in top 8. At which point they have to put them away and then they get to draw their hands and mulligan as normal. And addition during sideboarding process. They also get access to the deck list, but they don't get any additional time. They just get their standard 3 minutes to sideboard, and they get access to their opponent's deck list while they're sideboarding.
Yeah, you don't get any additional time apart from that. I'm going to be pulling up the deck lists here as soon as we can. You posted them, right, or did Frank post them?
Oh, what? Post what?
The deck lists.
That would be Frank.
Okay, so I have the deck lists for us, so that when we look at it later, we can pull stuff up.
I know Drizz's pretty much. I just don't know Aaron's very well. But I was actually talking to Aaron and Driz about being on the play versus being on the draw, and neither of them really actually know which one's preferable, but Driz said that he's probably on the play because the default is typically the play is better in any matchup. It's pretty rare that it draws better, but we're saying the draw might be better in terms of some specific interactions. Like if you have turn 1 Water Dragon, it might be better because you can get that turn 2 flip holding with your Energize, and then you can get Flame Horse, or
for sure.
Driz tends to play it a little bit slower, so he'd probably just flip, hold the Energize for a future turn, and then but be flipped really early with having that extra mana or extra will to do whatever you wanted in the future.
Right, yeah, for sure. I think this is going to be interesting to see really what happens here. I think, and plus Aaron's the one member of their team that we haven't seen play this list yet on stream, so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's the other Miles brother. See what happens. Let's see if Driz forgets his draw trigger again. Already starting with 2 spirits in hand. That's pretty good. And the final battle. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
It's a
final
pretty
battle
good
is
opening
very,
hand.
very good against Lumi's command if it resolves.
Yeah, he definitely needs that card to resolve.
Yeah.
The problem is he only gets to use it once.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick his moment.
You only get to use it
See,
once.
command,
really
Atama. Oh, and there's that rapid growth from Aaron, which is what they've been using a lot to get around final battle. Ooh, Driz's hand post mulligans proceeded to get much worse.
There's his draw for his ability for IU.
He does get the possession stone off the top. That's much better for him.
Yeah.
Divine Bird turn 1.
The issue in our stream match yesterday with him was that he had a match where he had like his first 5 stones weren't possession stones, and he ended up getting stuck with all these darkness cards in his hands.
Yeah,
but at least he has the final battle accessible this game. So last time he had a final battle accessible and needed to use it and just couldn't get the stone to use it. So
yeah. So there's that McKay gets to dig a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna try to dig for his soul here. Try to get as much J-roller damage as possible.
Yeah, that Fleet's Water Dragon is the right call, I think.
Yeah,
that's going to help him for next turn to be able to potentially like call stone and flip all at once.
Yeah, play the dragon, call stone, flip. That McKay's going to be really huge too because he'll be able to kill any sacred elf.
1 damage from the Divine Bird there, getting in those pokes.
He's trying to bait Aaron into using his Tama to kill the bird.
Probably, but if I'm Aaron here, like I'm gonna wait until Driz tries to use the McKay.
I think so too. Oh nope, he's not gonna take the damage. He's just gonna kill it.
No, he's gonna go ahead and decide to kill it instead.
I'm not sure the 1 damage is that relevant, but
yeah, but maybe Aaron's thinking like the McKay's just gonna try to kill it anyway, so might as well save it, you know?
That's true. Don't take the damage before the McKay kills the thing.
Right.
But I think honestly, the smarter play for Driz anyway is to leave it open, because if Aaron plays a Sacred Elf, then you have a free kill on it before it can protect itself.
That is one of the great things about McKay versus Tama is you get to dig 3 and it can just, it can trade up into Sacred Elves really easy.
I wonder, so I see a Nullfie in his hand, I also see a Rapid Growth, and I see
Aqua Soul, like I said, there's going to be the...
so it's kind of a slow start for Aaron.
Yeah, that second possession zone for Driz is pretty good here.
Yeah, I think he's
him up to a lot of his colors. I think we're probably going to see an IU flip.
Absolutely, yeah. And
he already has 2 souls in hand, and then can just sit and wait for next turn and like push through. Yeah. Start pinging in for the damage.
For a deck that's based around having extra will and cards, Aaron's really kind of had a slow start.
Yeah, it has been a little bit slow, unfortunately. Swinging for McKay's
4, right?
4, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna block with the Tama.
Yeah, Aaron's just trying to preserve his life total. He wants to get to that kill turn.
He sacked the top onto Killer McKay. Yeah, here comes that IA flip. It's probably a good position for Driz to take advantage of such a slow start.
Yeah,
Fill up his hand with cards. Because this is definitely a matchup that's all about the advantage.
Fourth soul, right? So
Third. He has Falcon and Misty, and now he has Pierce.
Okay.
So
that's pretty.
Plus, you see
Aaron.
he's got the flutes, or he's got the well, he discarded it. Well, that's a fair discard. It has Redmond. He's only tried to cast it once. The Elixir's Fighting Spirit to push through for a lot of, like, this is going to swing in for a lot of damage.
Yeah, for the stream, that was a discard due to 8 cards in hand.
Yeah,
turn.
too many cards.
But yeah, Driz is threatening to be able to hit for 2,000 next turn, and then be able to hit for 2,000 on the following turn. And
even with the Divine Bird, it's still, you might as well just pitch the Pierce and swing in.
Well, you just swing first, and if he blocks, you Pierce. If he doesn't block, then you
just pump through for a ton of damage.
With the Falcon,
The beauty is with that Flute's Water Dragon still resolving, like...
He has infinite infinite will, yeah.
He just gets to keep pushing through with IU and still keeping his tempo up with...
Once he gets the 5th stone, that Water Dragon's going to be really huge, too. It's a 5/5 flyer for 1.
Yeah, 5/8, yeah.
5/8, yeah.
Just still good.
Yeah. So...
Let's see if he decides to take the damage.
With Aaron knowing that he has a Pierce Resonator in hand, I think you have to block with the bird because you have to force him to use it and then force him to get it back, kind of thing. Though what's frustrating for Aaron is that he can just God's Art next turn for the Griefing Elf and then play that
back.
and then bring back
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he's gonna God's Art. Like, God's Art needs to be for like a sure thing. I think. He's still gonna take the 14.
And if you're gonna play it, yeah. I do think it's a sure thing if he can just swing through without getting blocked.
True Blade's gonna kill the Flute's Water Dragon. It's still enough to kill it.
Yeah,
because it's absolutely what Aaron needed to try to do here. That Flute's was getting that Water Dragon was getting him way too much advantage.
Absolutely.
If I was Aaron, I probably would have even considered True Blading before the upkeep, just to keep him at 3 stones. That would have been a bit of a misplay. Because that Flute's Water Dragon is really. Provides, like, even just getting that extra stone and a swing in 1 turn with IU is really good for Driz.
So, Aaron's, like...
Oh, he did it during upkeep. Okay.
Yeah. Aaron has a very nice thing, though, with that Melfi in hand, because he has the capability of Melfing and then True Blading his own Melfi out of the graveyard in order to fog this.
Oh, yeah, fog it. Yeah, fog the damage from
so he can buy a turn.
So I'm wondering exactly why he didn't do that at the end of Driz, the True Blade at the end of Driz's turn as opposed to in his turn.
I think he did do it at the end of his turn. Yeah.
Maybe I just missed something.
Yeah. It's just hard.
Aaron just has to pass turn with the Dracostone pass. Oof.
I'm a bit surprised at that. Maybe he just doesn't have Resonators. Because he has...
yeah, his hand is like a lot of spells.
He'll go to 7 next turn, so if he gets two guys on board,
Callous Blaze during the upkeep for 6 damage, just like that, taking him down to 20.
Yeah.
Driz is in a position where if he can stop that Melfi somehow this turn, it's going to be pretty brutal.
He gets to God's Art for Otherworld Dreams if he wants to.
If he wants to, yeah.
Well, I'd probably go for Fear Spell, actually. It's just
because right now, even with the 2 souls he has in hand, he has lethal on board.
Yeah.
Well, he takes the 10 and he doesn't try to pump it. It's interesting.
I think that's actually correct, because now you can just swing for 10 every turn if you Melfi.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't make him, you know. And now he can save his God's Art for when it matters.
Ooh, that True Blade is rough. Because it's the end of Aaron's turn, which means that he doesn't even get to play the card, but I think he drew True Blade anyway.
Well, yeah.
Aaron's hand, though, is just, it's so clunky. I mean, it's Melfi is great, but, like,
he has to make Melfi work. Yeah, this has been a hand that just did not... Just in a case of a hand that just did not get there for here.
It's all chance and no Resonators. The only thing he has is an Melfi, so he can buy a turn, but he
like
can't.
He's pushing for lethal. Like, Aaron has to try to make a play here.
So Aaron
is working on 5 will, which does give him quite a few options.
Yeah, he has to Melfi here, and then I guess he's probably gonna Rapid Growth because it's a better play. Gives no hand information. that's the correct play.
Yeah, and because the Melfi's already resolved, like that damage cancellation, even if his rapid growth gets cancelled, just happens.
Yeah. And I think it's actually correct not to.
The reason this works is because Melfi's ability always goes on the stack. It just only negates damage if you cast a second card. So like while that Melfi effect is still being on the chase, you can cast a second card and make it so the Melfi effect will resolve.
Exactly.
So he did top deck into another Melfi there. He's going to poke in for 3 because it gets to flicker it, so it's like 3 damage.
Just would have needed a Keys' Call there.
He could get a Keys' Call.
So I don't believe
Aaron is definitely on the back foot here.
Yeah, I think it was correct not to God's Art for the Fairy spell, though. You know that his deck runs 10 cancels.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to just play straight into 1 and waste your God's Art. When you could use it for a guaranteed win.
So like if I'm Driz, like seeing the hand that I have, I probably just pitch a soul first.
Oh yeah, to prevent him from blocking with Melfi, yeah.
He's gonna World Dreams the Crest. Gets to play another 1-drop.
Yeah, I would
so he just
force him to play cards, and then
I was gonna say the Sprinting Flame Horse is probably gonna get called off the other World Dreams, because then it's a second body on board.
Yeah, but he can't block the IU with the Melfi anyway, because he'll give him flying, so the Sprinting Flame Horse won't be able to get through with that IU. But
casting Aqua Soul off of the other World Dreams.
That's
recovering
really
your card
good.
back. And it's gonna get separated.
Yeah. I think it's correct. Just eat cards out of his hand.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Because eventually, if he eats enough counter magic, he'll be able, or cancel magic, he'll be able to get burn spells through later.
So Melfi's dead. So the weird this is, I don't know why Driz didn't at least give himself flying there.
Yeah, he has 2 souls. What do you think he'd do that? Plus, he's got
just to like force Aaron to make a play.
Yeah.
Because Aaron's just still sitting here on the.
I still do think that Aaron's in a real bad position. He really needs to. He has to have another Melfi this turn without the main deck force.
I don't even think Aaron should be. I don't even think Driz should be playing anything. I think he should have just like swung. Because now he's setting himself up for a Severing Winds play here. He's going to bring in the Melfi. The Melfi does not have flying.
Probably have to trigger it out of.
Still have to trigger it. He's going to True Blade his own Melfi.
Which thankfully Melfi has a 6 defense, so it doesn't die to the True Blade. But he's going to True Blade to kill it anyway.
This is going to be a Severing Winds play, I think.
It will still fog the IU, but he'll get it off board.
Fog the IU. Looks like a Fair's command in his hand. It's just sitting dead.
Yeah, he's just going to use it. But yeah, next turn, Driz will have the chance to make the same type of play.
Is that, yeah, that's...
It's Fair's command, Other World Dreams. He has another chant. I don't know what the 4th card was.
Yeah. Driz is thinking about God's Arting.
It would be, he'd just walk right into Other World Dreams.
What?
I said he would just walk right into another World Dreams, but...
Yeah, so
I guess at this time we've already seen 3 counter
here's thinking God's Art. He lets it resolve. It doesn't. He doesn't go ahead and let it resolve. I think that's.
I think it's
not good. I think if I'm Driz here, honestly, or sorry, if I'm, maybe not. I was thinking maybe you flip here for Lumia. Use the Energize Red because that's what they primarily use the Energize for. But the problem is
they don't play Gnarl. They don't play Gnarl.
They don't have any way to lifelink.
Yeah. If they played Gnarl, they could just swing into Lumia, swing into IU and then
gain a grant, and they're both imperishable.
It completely negates the IU, so.
Yeah, at least get a little bit of value off of it, slow Driz down.
Yeah, he's a Sacred Elf now, but that's his only Resonator still.
Yeah, Sacred Elf and 2 Severings and another world.
And a Fair's command. Yeah.
Which doesn't, to be perfectly honest, if he survives 1 more turn.
And Driz has game here if he just discards a soul.
So like if I'm Driz, if I'm Aaron in this situation, if I didn't have to do, like if I had to try to make plays, he has no way to protect him, like his hand right now has no way to protect himself from an IU.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, he has to...
he's going to get to that.
He's going to try to
Fierce command. Oh, he's gonna try to kill the
IU with the
IU,
Melfi.
but unfortunately Driz has his
The
Ring of
Flamers.
So
Yeah, she's just gonna come back and bite him.
yeah, this is gonna be a game. Well, the Melfi's gonna come back, so Driz is still gonna have to discard a soul. He's still gonna have to do it because Melfi's gonna be flickered by Lumia at the end of turn.
Yeah, but he's got a soul to burn, so he doesn't need to. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he's got the will to do it. Because right now IU's at 12-12.
That's true. So if he just wants to guarantee that the, I don't know.
So like if I'm Driz, I'm even just gonna let him kill the IU. I'm like, that's fine. You can spend your whole turn.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, you have the Flame Horse, right? So it doesn't matter. But I don't think you even care about killing the Melfi because you're gonna get search a third soul when you flip again, and you have the Flame
exactly.
Horse in hand,
Like
so
the Melfi's gonna get.
don't waste a soul on this.
Yeah.
Even though he's
Just
gonna
let
be
the
able to
Melfi do
flicker
its
it.
thing and then come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is unfortunately going to be a turn, you know, I think Driz is kind of overthinking this a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking like maybe what can Aaron have, and they are on the same team, right? So they know each other's lists pretty well.
And it's a top 8 match. I mean, the pressure I'm sure is getting to Driz too.
Yeah, for sure. But if I was in Driz's shoes, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. You can just recover your Melfi and be a 2-will.
Yeah.
And then kill my IU. And then I'll just flip Flame Horse. Because like there's nothing in Aaron's list that can stop a Flame Horse trigger.
Now, if Aaron was playing, say, Swiftness, then it would be a different story since the +10/+10 and Pierce would apply to those. But because he has nothing, then Swiftness, not even Gnarl, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's just a 10-10 with Swiftness. The Flicker's a thing that Driz doesn't even have.
If he mainboarded Gnarl, I would be really worried about the Energize Gusting Skies play into Gnarl, into getting a 17-17 as well. But in this case, because you know he doesn't play Gnarl, it's not that much of a concern.
Maybe he's trying to bait Driz into doing something silly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely a potential option. But like, looking at Aaron's hand, knowing what IU can do, and looking what Driz's hand is, this game is literally Aaron's. Or this game is literally Driz's.
Yeah,
you can't lose.
As I said, the game one's going to be really rough without the Foresights. Melfi isn't that strong by itself. You really need the Foresights.
He did pitch his soul to pump up the IU.
It's not that.
I mean, it's still fine. He gets to save even more will. Maybe he's thinking, but like at this point, maybe he's banking on not having a soul, I guess. But he can still God's Art for any soul. Yeah. And there's no... Does Aaron play Keys' Call at all? No, Keys is an automatic.
No, he didn't.
So, and I use an Activate, so it literally doesn't matter, I think.
And you can't Keys' Call the automatic abilities of the Resonators that you discard. So.
Right. Yeah, I think Aaron is... If I'm Aaron in this situation, knowing what my hand is, I'd probably just say, let's just move on. Because, like, my concern is that Aaron's taking too much time.
Yeah, but you do get 60-minute rounds in the top 8.
Yeah, they do have 60-minute rounds, so they still have another 40. I mean, but they've already used 20 of it.
Yeah.
Just for this game one.
I think of Aaron, it's not that big of a deal because you have it's a combo deck, so you're just trying to get to X turn, and then you know whether you win or lose in game 2 anyway. So.
Right, that's fair.
But if it was like Tree or something, I think I would have just immediately scooted.
Yeah, at this point I'd be like, no, we're done. Yeah, for sure. I think maybe he's just trying to tilt Driz, but like Driz has this game in the bag. I can't imagine. Like,
well, it's just the intimidation factor. You know, you're playing against Aaron Miles,
and previous world champion, and very calm under pressure. I mean, I played against Aaron as well, and like I can never get a beat on him, like at all.
Yeah.
Like when he's playing, he's very stone-faced. He's very like, to the point. So it's just gonna go ahead and pass the turn here.
If he plays the soul here, he discards the soul here. It's over.
Just discard a soul and it's done.
And he
has one in hand. He has Misty.
Yeah. He's 2. He's a Falcon 2.
Oh, he has Misty and Falcon. Yeah, he's got plenty of.
So it's a safe play too. I mean, if you get Melfi, you get Melfi, but you still have another soul, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you can't get Fierce commanded for lethal on the backswing because it's only 12 plus 13. It's only 25 damage. So
like Driz shouldn't set himself up for any plays here. Like he shouldn't set himself up by playing cards.
I mean, it doesn't even matter if he plays cards.
He's gonna try to burn him.
Oh, he's trying to burn the elf, I think.
No, he's burning face for 5.
Never mind.
I think he's gonna play the Sprinting Flame Horse. Like, this is actually pretty good because it sets him up for a Sprinting Flame Horse play.
He's letting Aaron block with the elf.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't just pitch a soul.
I mean, the problem for Aaron is that he knows that he can't draw his way out of this. This really is in a situation where even if you get a Lumia, like you have to get Lumia into Melfi, second Fair's Command, and probably another Resonator.
He's setting himself, yeah, the Sprinting Flame Horse play was my thought for taking him down to 5. The problem is he should have played the Sprinting first.
Well, now there's a problem that Aaron can actually flip Lumia, swing into IU, and you don't have the Sprinting Flame Horse in order to be able to attack with her the first turn. Again.
Oh, he's just taking it, so this is real weird. Oh, there's so much, like, weirdness here.
Yeah.
Taking him down to 300. So the problem becomes now, like, Aaron is literally within Lightning Strike range. Like, and Driz is playing Lightning Strike, I have to imagine, right?
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I don't think that there's any
Oh, you know what?
that
That might be why he was. Oh, but Aaron has Severing Winds too, so my thought was maybe he was holding up the Otherworld Dreams because maybe Driz had a Lightning Strike to play off of the.
As we talked about, Aaron's just going to flip Lumia here and
the Sprinting Flame Horse can block.
Now that he knows that the Sprinting Flame Horse doesn't, you know. But you have to discard a soul here. You just have to.
He didn't even swing. He just he just judgmented it past.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You have to discard a soul here. You cannot just swing into a Lumia when you Sprinting Flame.
Yeah, for sure. Now Aaron's got a Melfi. Yeah, there's the flying.
But unfortunately, you know, he waited too long.
The question is here. Can Ryan resolve this Melfi? Does he have a remnant card?
He has an Otherworld Dreams in hand, so he can protect against any cancel spell that Driz plays.
He can't stop the damage. He doesn't have a way to. Does he have a remnant card in grave?
Oh no, he doesn't. He already used his True Blade and his
He literally doesn't have a way to make that Melfi stop damage.
And his Ravengrowth, yeah. So his hand's Otherworld Dreams and Severing Winds, and that's it, I think.
And Severing Winds can't cancel his own stuff.
Yeah, because you'd have to play it on your own Melfi, and that doesn't work. So
yeah. Or yeah, Otherworld Dreams can't cancel your own stuff.
I can't imagine Aaron even makes this play. He would just scoop it in response to the soul discard if he didn't have something to pin him on.
Yeah, I think he's literally just trying to bait out Driz making a play.
Or it might be instinct by Aaron too, because in Swish you do this to try to get as much information.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so here he is. He just was like seeing if Driz maybe drew something else, and it's like I got a handful of cancels. Yeah, so Driz actually does take game 1 there.
Now, outside in game 2, Aaron does get to bring in. I think he plays 3 foresights on the board, or is it 2? But he gets to bring those in, which helps the matchup significantly because it allows you to buy the time you need.
For those of you who are saying maybe match fixing or something like that, there's no way. There's no way Aaron. Like I've never known Aaron to scoop to anyone, let alone his own teammates.
Also, guys, you have to realize that Aaron doesn't have an invite to Worlds. Like that would be ridiculous to match fix it for Driz.
Yeah,
like,
Aaron does not
like
have
Aaron has a paid invite and is trying to. And listen, if Aaron had a paid invite and wanted Driz to win, he would just scoop to Driz. Like he would.
Yeah, he just concede.
Yeah, there's no reason to make a like. And yeah, I agree, David. Driz was playing too safe, but it didn't end up mattering. Yeah, he played Melfi. He was trying to,
David, he played the David, he played the Melfi. He didn't have any way to with his own cards chase the Melfi. To make it so that he could cancel the damage. So the problem then became he had to wait to see if Driz could potentially try to bait out a card that he could then Severing or something like that with his Otherworld Dreams.
Yeah.
That was 100% what he was needing to try to do.
Aaron's doing like
and
a 10-card sideboard here.
And then Driz just didn't. He was just like, okay, you have a Melfi, I'm still gonna try to hit you with the flying damage. And then Aaron was like, well, okay, I can't do anything. So they won.
Aaron's sideboard, he has to take out a lot of cancel magic. He took out all his Millennia Bonds, he took out some of his other cancel spells, and then he took out his True Blades because all these cards, they just don't do anything against IU. He's going to have to sideboard almost his entire sideboard in just to take out the cards that are bad against IU, which is fair because IU tends to be played less than Swiss because of its hard to find ruler in general, and it's just also really complicated ruler to play. A lot of people don't like it because of the singleton rule, and so you don't expect to really see it in Swiss. And so Aaron built his deck so it has kind of a bad game one against IU,
And then really good
but
games
then he just
two and three.
sideboards out of it. So Aaron kind of knew going in that he'd probably lose game one, but then the goal is to win game 2 and 3.
Yeah, so my problem is I think that Aaron took way too long in that game one.
Yeah.
Like, I think as soon as the soul gut drops from Driz, you go, okay, I would just go to the next game.
And that's the
But
thing,
it doesn't.
so-
But I think even at that point, like, I think the turn after, like, as soon as the turn after the, if I'm Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Like the turn that I try to do the command play.
Yeah.
Like the turn after that, and seeing that a soul got pitched, like to keep the IU alive.
Yeah.
Like I would have just scooped, like right then, and said let's go next game, because Driz still had access to God's Art, and there's literally nothing in Aaron's list, at least the main, with what his hand was, that could stop a Goddard into a soul.
Yeah,
And he was at
exactly.
so low life that it was just like, well, okay, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
So like I would have just been like, okay,
And
cool, we're
honestly,
done.
there's no way Driz could have even misplayed. There's literally nothing Driz could have done where Aaron would have been able to draw enough cards to be able to get back in that game. So
Right.
there's just
Yeah, I think
there's no
Aaron
combination
just
of
kind
cards
of
in his main board.
I think Aaron just kind of hurt himself a little bit with the time stealing.
So, and then the other concern about this is when it's 40 minutes, it's fine because you're a combo deck. But the problem is in game 3, because of the way life total work for in a match procedure, if it goes to time,
It's highest life at
It's
the end of
highest
turns.
life, and because he's a combo deck, IU is always going to have the higher life until you have the kill turn.
Yeah.
So that's a problem for Aaron, is unless they end game 2 with like 2 minutes to go, and Aaron can try to like cheese some rapid growth elf or something, you know, and then fog his IU for 2 turns or something.
Yeah.
For the most part, IU is going to have a higher life total until the kill turn, and then that's really bad for Lumi.
And the other thing with Driz is, I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he does tend to take a long time on his turns.
Yeah.
So this is really a situation where Aaron needs to kind of pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron recognizes that.
Yeah.
And being on the play potentially might help him see there's a Lumia right off the bat, which is really great.
But keep in
There's
mind,
there's the Fair's command. The problem is, I was talking with Ryan, we talked about yesterday, outside of their Kage's Moonbeam Butterfly or stuff like that, they just don't have a way to shuffle their deck. So like
Yeah.
if a Fair's command goes to the bottom, like, it's just there, like for almost ever.
and I think he did mulligan it.
He did ship it away,
So he
which is
only has
fine. He's got actually a pretty good hand. He's got a couple Severings, the Lumia, a Rapid Growth, and a Melfi. So like, he's still got a pretty strong opener.
Honestly, I don't. I love the Lumia. I think the Lumia is just incredible against IU, to be honest. There's the Rapid Growth to save the Sacred Elf from the True Blade.
That was an old play way back in the day.
Yeah.
With Elf.
But I don't. If I were Aaron, I would have actually sided out my Severings. The other World Dreams are good, but the Severings themselves aren't that great against the IU matchup. Because IU's damage is mostly from its ruler, and you can just play one spell per turn and not care. And IU just had 7 cards at the end of last game, and so just I guess you win the cancel wars if he God's Arts for a cancel, but it's
The problem here is like True Blade against Rapid Growth just means that like Rapid Growth wins.
yeah.
Because they both have Remnant still, so there's just like.
So Driz drew past. That's really interesting in a burn list. His hand must be
Yeah.
terrible. Oh, he has the lightning strike, so he's
That
just gonna
Lumia-
play at the end of his.
Yeah, he's gonna end up trying to burn. That Lumia is gonna be already met. Start the value back up. He's gonna try to lightning strike Aaron's face in response to the Lumia. That's very interesting.
I don't know that I agree with that. Well, I guess you don't
I
want to do a Severing.
I definitely can understand why. Like you didn't want Aaron to potentially get into a cancel spell off of the Lumia, right?
I
'Cause
meant
it's a
more
free
lightning
spell.
striking the Lumia and then true blading it, but I guess you just don't really want to walk
He's got
into
Rapid
it.
Growth.
No,
Again, it's
no,
still-
but he doesn't have any. Oh, he has the. Sorry, he has
The
the
Rapid
stones
Growth in the
available.
grave. Yeah, he has stones
Yeah.
open. So like, there's no point in wasting to try to kill the Lumia because Aaron
Yeah.
will just come out on top.
Yeah.
You see that McKay? Aaron's looking at all
Oh,
those
that's pretty rough for Aaron, because now if he can get a True Blade to resolve, Well, that rapid growth is so good.
Yeah, that rapid growth is
It's just
very,
absolutely
very
incredible.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see another World Dreams, I think, come off. Yeah, Otherworld off the Lumia. So
Trying to
Aaron
avoid-
wants to be using the cards off the Lumia first, because there's. Oh, he didn't even
Oh, he
get a
didn't
thing off
play
the
it.
Otherworld Dreams. There's no
He may have
second card.
He may have forgotten. to
Yeah,
be
he's going
honest.
against a counter deck. He's maybe considering I don't want to lose a card for a
Yeah.
severing. Because Driz can't win a cancel war.
Yeah, but you still want to eat the severings because you want to be able
That's
to.
true. That's true.
And you're not going to be playing all those cards against this deck anyway. But this is a very, very good start for Aaron.
Oh, yeah,
If he gets another Resonator out, he
gonna-
can command next turn. If it's a Melty, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, and he's got a Melty in hand. This is a much better start. This is a much more consistent, like, that pure value, because he's probably going to, based on what that card is under his Lumia, he's probably just going to swing and flicker it into 3 more Lumias, into 3 more cards.
And 3 more cards, yeah. Yeah, sorry, he can command in 2 more turns. No, yeah, he can command next turn because he's a stone right there. That's right.
He's got 5, no, he'd be at 5 stones, 6 with,
Oh, he'd have the
Sacred
Melfi
Elf.
and the Sacred Elf.
oh, when he uses the Melfi, yeah.
So he'll have 7 next turn. He'll and that's 40 plus 3, 2, 4, 3. So that's 4, 7, 10, 12. It's gonna be 52
Into the
damage.
Energized Judgment.
Yeah. So if he commands, Driz is gonna be forced to block with the
Ooh.
IU, and I still think
Yeah,
he loses. Depends on
that
how
was
you-
really nice of Aaron. So he tapped his Hearth Core to do Judgment, and then was like, oh wait, I want to tap Deep Blue. Like, that's actually, if I was in Aaron's predicament, I probably would have been like, no, dude.
Yeah, you already. Yeah.
You tapped.
But they're on the same team, so
Yeah, but I understand, but like,
yeah.
it's top cut.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter, because he could just like, say he's going to float the red anyway off of the Hearth Core after he tapped it or something, but like,
Yeah.
still, this is why sequencing is super important.
Yeah.
143 players joining us for the stream already. Super excited.
Though I'm not sure, even if I play Melfi, I'm not sure I command this turn because if you command, you have no will available to
goodness
protect
gracious, do you
it.
see that card in his hand? He's got a Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
That locks the game out for Aaron. Like, if that Mephistopheles resolves, IU can't win.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you just permanently tap down IU. And you're just stuck.
He needs red though. He doesn't have red.
Well, he's got the Melfi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And that might be what Aaron's thinking. Like,
Yeah,
if
just
I can
play
just,
Melfi,
if I can
play
resolve this, you see a Burn to Cinders there, which is not ideal. But again, he's got the Rapid Growth in the grave.
Yeah, Melfi into Meph into next turn. Fair's command is game
Yeah,
over.
pretty much game. Yeah, if that Mephistopheles resolves and can stay protected, it's just over.
Yeah, because he'll just tap it down at the beginning of combat, and then it's tapped for his whole turn.
He doesn't even do that. Taps it moving into main phase.
Oh yeah, at the end of recovery phase.
At the end of
so he
recovery,
can't even call.
so he can't even call stone. It's literally just locked down forever. And I don't think Driz has a way to stop. I mean, he still has access to other world streams, but
Oh, it
Aaron's
doesn't
gonna
matter.
win.
Aaron has
Aaron's gonna win the counter spell war for sure.
Yeah.
So like that Mephistopheles is gonna resolve for sure, and it's gonna be real bad for Driz. Like at that point, like knowing that I have to
At
play
that
the
point,
counter
Driz,
spell
I
war.
would just scoop. If I see Meph, I just scoop.
Because he knows the Mephistopheles. It's only a 2-drop. Like that Mephistopheles.
Well, once it resolves, yeah. Once it resolves,
So then I'm just like, okay, next game. Like that Mephistopheles was a very good.
he has to Godsart for cancel spell, even though he knows it's probably gonna get beaten.
Yeah, because the problem is
gonna
Godsarting for the Otherworld Dreams prevents him from being able to use that Millennia Bond that's in his hand. He does have access to double red for Burn to Cinders,
Well,
but the problem is I think at this point...
You Millennia Bond, and then you Godsart for severing, and then you try to
And
hope
you
he
still
doesn't
lose,
have
and you just still lose the counter words. The
Yeah.
one thing that Driz has going from him is he does have Burn to Cinders, but the problem is even knowing that, like even having the Burn to Cinders, he's still got to go through a lot just to get to it. And Aaron still has that Rapid Growth Engrave that we still haven't seen.
But unfortunately, it doesn't matter because since Aaron can just tap it down at the beginning, or rest it down at the beginning, at the end of the recovery phase, he'll just rest it down before he can kill
Mephistopheles
it.
at this point is now resolved. So like, IU's just in a real bad spot. Xia Wu Jing too. Oh goodness, what a lockdown.
Yeah.
What a grab off of that. He's like, I gotta try to Burn to Cinders the Meph. So if I'm Aaron at this point,
Well, he Otherworld Dreams it.
he
and
has
then,
Otherworld and then severing the
and he's
counterplay.
double
Oh, he's
severing.
gonna Rapid Growth. Even better.
Yeah, just save the Otherworld Dreams.
If I'm Driz, I just scoop here.
Well,
There's
you
no
gods
way.
are for severing first. You just make sure that.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, you give yourself a chance. Oh, you can't because Sha. Oh, he's doing a response to Sha Wuxing.
yeah, he's doing it in response to the Sha Wuxing cast.
So you gods are
Because
for
once that Sha
severing.
Wuxing resolves,
Just
it's
see if
over.
it works. Maybe he has a horrible hand, and then if it inevitably gets canceled, then you just screw him and go to game 3.
Yeah, for sure.
But what we can't do is take.
That Mephistopheles. Oh, tell you what, I love this deck.
Yeah.
Like I will be the first one to admit that like I definitely believed that that Lumia was a real deck for sure.
He let it resolve.
Oh goodness. I definitely believe that IU is a real ruler. Yeah, and just like, oh nope.
Yeah.
You're gonna tap down past post recovery. Like I definitely believe that Lumia was a real ruler. I knew that I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't gonna be the one to figure it out, and it's been really cool to see this figured out by this team.
I
gotta give them
really
credit.
I
They
really liked the
walked in
Lumia
and
command list against
did a lot of work.
It's
been really-
fair, but I didn't.
What did he got there for?
I didn't think it would have the same kind of
For
matchup
final
against.
battle? Why?
Oh, he's forcing him to have the other world dreams instead of severing because he doesn't have enough will available to play a severing hardcast.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, a better play than Godswing for the final. But the problem is, if he has
He has to pay the tax with will, not life.
it's pretty
Paying.
I wish we had the walkie-talkie.
Well, Sha Wuxing's an 800 defense, right? So it has to be 1600.
Well, he's paid a will into it, and then he has
Well,
to
that
pay an
ma-
extra one for Sha
No, he's
Wuxing.
paid the will into the tax. He paid the will into the tax.
Yeah, okay.
So 16 life, I think.
Yeah, he's probably doing 16.
Because Sha Wuxing has
But if you...
is a 7.
No. But you have to play around Rapid Growth, so if you're smart, you're probably having to do
No, Rapid Growth's
24.
Menarcheed.
There's 2 in his deck.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd still play around it, and there's a deep wood available. I'd say 24 is what you have to do. He has a Melfi and a deep wood available, so you can Rapid Growth and other world dreams. Because you're going to lose anyway, you might as well go down to 10. And then if the final battle resolves, then you get around Rapid Growth. I guess you don't get around double Rapid Growth, but...
So let's...
Oh, he just
scoops. Okay,
Just
yeah.
scoops, yeah.
Just like there's nothing I can even do. So we're going to game 3, just like that.
As I said, Aaron was worried he might lose game 1 because
Tell
of
you what, that
his
Mephistopheles...
change, but the amount of cards he
Mephistopheles is a
cited...
really, really good card. The fact that, I mean, we're in a format right now that doesn't have a lot of J-Ruler hate, right? Which is one of the reasons why IU has been so successful.
Yeah.
It's because she just doesn't stick there. But the thing is, Imperishable doesn't matter if you can't ever use it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, with Mephistopheles, it's like, well, I've got a million creatures anyway.
Yeah,
It just locks them out. Because the
Like
other
a-
thing is, too, against a list like this, against a Lumia list like this, an IU list can definitely feel like like an aggro list can definitely feel like I gotta go fast, right? Because I can't let the combo deck have time to resolve anything, which backs you into your own corner. Because again, once that Mephistopheles resolves, you see exactly what happened here. He was stuck at 3 will, can't call for stone, can't swing for IU. Aaron's never gonna kill that IU at that point. He's just gonna let him stay there with 3 will for the rest of the game, and then he can just run train on it.
And the other thing is, so if you are playing a standard burn list, so let's say like Victor Harris's tree list or something, if you're playing a standard burn list against Lumia Command, it's really good because you get to, you're just outracing them. But the problem with IU is because you're only playing singletons, like the worst card, the card that's worst against or best against Command, Sylvia, you only get to run 1. You only get to run 1 lightning strike. You only get to run 1 memory, so you're not actually getting to burn them as fast as of an actual like burn deck would be able to. So unfortunately you don't get that kind of natural advantage, and if IU can tap down or rest down your J-Ruler like with the Meph, when most of your aggro is in the J-Ruler itself, right? It causes your deck's pretty one-dimensional. So but fortunately for Driz, Aaron's only runs 2 Mephs, so if he can stop the Lumias, he can hope to keep Aaron from being able to draw into a Meph and a way to protect it.
Yeah.
And remember also that I don't agree with going on the play here, because you're giving Aaron the fire will needed to play Meph. Otherwise, you can prevent him from having a Melfi or a
Keep the
Meph.
Melfi off the board.
And either way keeps the Meph off the board.
Aaron did ship off a Severing, I think. Oh, there's a Lumia too.
Oh, so
I
like
would-
not.
He could potentially land a turn 1 Lumia here. Oh man, Driz does not have any stone disparities today.
Yeah.
That possession stone off the top, but no turn 1 play from him, which is a little unfortunate.
Turn 2 he has the Neo Barrier, which is amazing against Aaron if he can resolve it.
I don't really think that Neo Barrier is very good against Aaron, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, that Neo Barrier is gonna come down though. Oh no, is that a Sylvia?
Sylvia?
Blade of the King. Yeah, Sylvia. 6 damage.
He's just trying to get to aggro out. I mean, aggro is the way to beat Lumia Command in general, but well, the reason I think Neo Barrier is really good is it really forces Aaron to get to 7 actual will to be able to Fair's Command. He can't. He has to. His Mephistopheles is taxed. You know, like it provides him an alternate win con, and you could have played it down when you were safe. But
Aaron's got the Melfi here, plus backup will to support. Another Tama. He's going to get to draw a lot of cards here. Second Melfi.
yeah, unfortunately here.
2 damage.
He's going to attack for 2. Well, now Driz gets a free 6 damage in because. Oh no, never mind. Lumia flickers.
Yeah.
So.
Even more draw power for Aaron.
Yeah, exactly.
That Neo Barrier is probably going to come down here. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Aaron's just going to turn his Sacred Elf into a beat stick at that point.
Well, he has his dreams. I think you actually.
Yeah,
Dreams
Dreams
here.
get cast.
Yeah.
Instead of Freyla, that Freyla doesn't get swiftness. It's just a 6-drop or 2-drop 6/6. Aaron doesn't care about that. He's going to go ahead and Severing wins it though. I think that's the right play.
Yeah.
Driz can't possibly get any damage here.
Well, I would swing into
He's going to
Sacred Elf.
sacrifice. He's going to sack one of the Tamas
Yeah.
to prevent himself from taking the damage. Driz does have the sprinting in hand, but
Oh, he's going to kill the elf on draw. So then Neo Barrier doesn't matter as much. That doesn't resolve. But here's the thing: if Neo Barrier resolves, he can't land a Meph because he can't play. Well, he has energized.
he has extra will.
But that's what, again, why I was saying, like, if you go on the try, you prevent that, and then if you do hit that Neo Barrier, you can also Neo Barrier and lock it down him from ever being able to play Meph because your Melfi. Well, I guess he could pay will into Melfi if he wanted to, but it just makes it harder. And the harder you can do to get into play his win con is better.
So we're getting some of the top 8s have finished up. Brandon Bremont advances to top 4, beating Tyler Tompkins.
Well, that's interesting because he was the 8th seed, just kind of snuck in and beat the
That
guy who
match is
was
definitely
undefeated.
the green-black fair versus green-blue-white fair is definitely a 50-50. You really have to know how to play against black fair.
Yeah.
And the problem is Tyler didn't come with a test group.
Well, that's what Brandon said. If you don't know how to play against green-black fair with Bant fair, it's almost free. That's what he said. Now Brandon Bremont will be playing the winner of this match, and the winner of this match will get to choose whether they're on the play or draw against green-black fair.
There's so many Lumias in his hand. Nameless Mist for 0 spells for Aaron.
Wow. Yeah, Aaron's gonna end a turn Melfi and then play Lumia on his turn probably. Just dig into that Fair's Command. And he gets the 1/1 counter on Sylvia, which is nice, so he's gonna get in and he's gonna get in 7 damage this turn. He plays the Tama knowing that he just can play whatever he wants right now.
He's like, there's no cancels in his hand. Cal's Blaze for 6.
Yep. So he'll, Aaron has no way to actually trigger this Melfi, so he's just gonna throw it in.
I mean, it's free ramp, might as well, right? Energizing for another
Oh,
Melfi.
another Melfi. I didn't see the second Melfi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to prevent the Sylvia damage.
Yeah, he's gonna prevent the Sylvia damage.
So still at 34.
Yeah. This is really, really rough for Driz, because if he hits a Fair's Command off the Lumia that he plays this turn, he's at 6 wold this turn, 7 wold next turn.
Oh, for the Isuzu. 3.
He double true bladed and killed the Sylvia. That's the other thing. Against IU, you can be pretty safe doing these things because you know they only have 1 Severing Winds, so with only 1 Severing Winds available, you know, If they have it, they have it, but you make them have it. He's playing the Lumia.
Oh, there's an Amaterasu's Foresight and a Millennia Bond off the top of that Lumia. It's
yeah,
really,
this is really
that was a
rough for
really
Drizz.
good Lumia for him.
I would play a second Lumia if I were Aaron, just...
Maybe not. He wants to be able to keep the will open.
But he does. I mean, he's going to have the Melfi open, and he's going to have 2 more wills, so he'll
He
have
wants to
3
be at
total
4.
wills.
He wants to be at 4 will. With no severing in hands, he has to rely on that Millennia Bond. So he wants to be at 4 will. Potentially. Oh, no. He's going for it.
Yeah, I think you do. Because you
Maybe
could
trying
draw
to
into
draw into a
another World
Severing.
Dreams or a Severing, yeah. Oh, gosh.
That was a real... By
Divine
comparison, that was a real bad Severing for Lumia.
Well, you still have to hold open. I think yeah, he's gonna hold open the extra mana to bait him into thinking he got another World Dreams because he just drew 6 cards. So,
Yeah. You can definitely bluff the Otherworld Severing.
yeah.
Gonna see the Ayu flip here.
I think you Gods Art for final battle here, but unfortunately,
I don't think, like, again, I don't
Really?
think, against Aaron's list, knowing that there's so many cancels, like, Drizz cannot,
but the problem is you can't be afraid of cancels.
I understand you can't, but,
Yeah.
but the cost, normally I would say yes, but the cost of God's Art is insanely high to just get a final battle, and then potentially have it get canceled, right? Because that final battle could be at the bottom of his deck, and so he just goes final battle, gets canceled, and lost everything. to do
True,
it.
but on the other hand, you're looking at a Bears command to lose the game next turn. Otherwise,
And that's true, and there is a lot of damage on
and
board.
then you'd still have to have the cancel war. This is just an easier way to win the
that's
cancel
fair.
war because you can't lose the
Sprinting Flame Horse, we're gonna see the push. He says, I didn't see you have any kind of stopper for it. I'm gonna try to push you as much as possible. 17 damage coming out of the Lumia.
Yeah,
He's
just
gonna
take
say,
it.
Take it.
You can't force it because then he'll just God's Art for final battle and then force you to have specifically the other World Dreams because Millennia Bond you will have the will available to do.
He's gonna Inheritance Pinch here, try to draw. If he draws into a Fierce Wing, oh, there's the other world, but another
There's
Otherworld. That's really unfortunate.
Okay, yeah, now it's
So actually, if I was, I would have actually considered the idea of flipping and crashing into. I would have actually considered flipping, crashing into Ayu here.
I don't
with
think so.
Lumia.
I think you're being safe. You're just trying to get into a Fierce Command. I think you just attack with whichever Lumia. You don't really want to have the cards underneath, which is probably this middle one here, and then just flicker that for.
Well, knowing that the Sprinting Flame Horse is already gone, that's why I'm saying like Aaron buys himself a couple turns by like flipping Lumia and just crashing into Ayu here.
You have the Foresight and you have Cancel Man.
That's true. That's true. He does have.
You know.
He does have lots of good stuff. Third,
I mean, you're such a good
Lumia is
position.
gonna come
I think
in.
you just try to hit
There's
that.
a command.
There it is. He
Immediately
doesn't
puts
have
Aaron
enough
in a
to
position
swing.
where if he can protect himself with 2 Otherworld Dreams, like if he can survive
Yeah.
one more turn, it's over.
If I'm here, I just play another 2 Resonator 2 and then just hold open so much cancel magic that
I'd probably
you
play
can't
Tama
lose.
here too.
Because you have the Foresight, you have Millennia Bond, you have other World Dreams, and you have Severing. There's just no way you can lose to IU and Cancel War.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably play Tama. Maybe even
Tama
I'd
or
play.
another
Maybe even
Lumia.
I'd play a 4th Lumia.
Yeah, I play the 4th Lumia. Just get so many cards that they can't.
There's no way possible that Driz could.
With 13
push
cards
through.
in hand against IU, like that's ridiculous.
It's a lot of resources.
I believe Ryan Miles and Andre Demarin's match just ended, and we'll find out soon if it did.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's just gonna.
Because
go ahead and
they're
poke
talking
for
about the
4.
match, so they probably did. Yeah, as I said, he's just poking. He's just attacking with it so he can flicker and get more cards. There's
Yeah,
nothing underneath it.
because that's Lumia that has like nothing underneath it.
I would play the Divine Bird from underneath it and then flicker it. But
Is there a Divine Bird underneath?
yeah, there's a Divine Bird.
But he can still do it. Maybe he's trying to see.
Yeah, second main phase. Well, not second main phase. Force doesn't have first and second, but just after combat.
So did the damage go through? Is Driz thinking about it?
I think Driz is still thinking about it. Because you don't want to have the... the problem is he's on 1 will, yeah. Well, I don't think he's taking it yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting
Yeah.
to see if he's taking the damage.
He has 1 will though. What's he gonna do? There's no 1 will 7 damage spell, unfortunately. I would guess he could unseen pressure, but I don't think he runs it.
Yeah. I don't think that's anywhere in the 60 or the 46 or 56. He's gonna go ahead and take that damage. Take the 4 down to 34. Oh, he's flickering the Melfian.
Well, I think he's like, I have a foresight, I have like all this stuff. But no, here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like that you don't get the Divine Bird from underneath it, because you already have 5 will. You have so much will, and you're gonna out resource, so you automatically win.
I'm gonna find out what's something.
Next turn. You automatically win next turn if you have an extra resonator. I think Aaron's playing it a little bit too safe when he knows IU's only got.
Ryan Miles beat Dre to advance to top 4. So just got that end for us. So one of the Miles brothers. Go with.
Aaron's also got to watch this clock. This clock's down to 8 minutes. And,
Finish your playset. Finish your playset.
If he ends game 3, he's down on life totals.
Go get a.
So losing due to life in game 3 that you basically guaranteed win. Driz has got a final battle here, try to win.
Frank.
Try to stall it back out. So he's final battling here. It's probably going to be
How much life did he pay into it?
I don't know. But
We paid 1, so it has to be. She's a 7, right? So it has to be 14 life.
Yeah. But no. I wouldn't. It's not going to be 14 because rapid growth. You always have to play around rapid growth.
I think we're going to assume 14 unless otherwise stated.
I would do 22 if I were him.
But if we didn't know for sure, we're going to assume 14 for the kill. Not down to 200. He's at 20.
He just lost the Millennium Plunder as well.
Yeah, to cancel it.
And that came out from an Under Illumia, which is rough.
Yeah.
Just gives him another free card in his hand. There's a McKay.
Is he severing it? Oh, there's a rapid growth under the Lumia too. That's real bad for Driz.
That's what I was saying, you have to play around it.
Aaron has lethal on board next turn, like easily. He's just gonna.
No, it's lethal. It's not. It wasn't lethal if he kept the IU open. But I think he's just forcing him to have the foresight.
He's got the foresight.
Yeah. Now you have to.
He's gonna try to severing.
And then you're gonna God's Art for Fear spell. And then that's. And you should have 2 other World Dreams, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Aaron Miles gets
Aaron Miles
game 3.
wins the game. And Driz at that point knows he can't push back.
Yeah.
So congrats, Aaron Miles is the winner. We're going to take care of a few things, guys, just because the time on round is so close. If we can get him for an interview, we will. Otherwise, we will see you guys back here for top 4 here in a bit. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. We really appreciate it. I'm going to push this over to
me?
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys are live right now, so you guys can talk.
Okay.
Oh, hey, what's
All
up,
right,
everybody?
hey guys, we have Driz Foskin here for a kind of discussion about the top 8 match and, pretty much whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the game 1 was amazing for you, though.
The what?
The game 1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so, and that's the thing. Like, Aaron and I, we got back to our hotel room last night, and we talked about it. We all knew how the matchup went, like as far as the OTG team goes.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1 is almost 75-80% in IU's favor, but then games 2 and 3, it's almost impossible to win those games.
Yeah.
You saw in game 2, he resolves the Mephistopheles, and then he immediately resolves the Shao Wujing, and I'm like, I've got the Burn the Cinders in hand, because it's like I've got a couple of outs to Meph, but like I need to try and take it out the turn it comes down. Because at that point, like if I don't, I've already lost too much tempo. Mm-hmm. So I try to get that Burn the Cinders in before it's costing 3, and bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
And it just he had the counters. Like he went off on that game.
Yeah.
There's not really much I could do. And then I had the final battle after the God's Eye, and I was like, here's hoping.
Yeah.
But I mean.
Game 3, I think you had a pretty good chance there. You just got unlucky with him drawing all 4 Lumias.
Yeah. Oh goodness, that was awful. It's funny too, because when I was going through my sideboard, I was like, maybe I should bring in this Scorn of Dark Alice, and then I was like, nah, I don't really. That's not going to be relevant. And then your name was Smith, so I'm like, maybe I can rip a counter out of his hands.
Seven resonators.
7 resonators.
That never happens in Lumia Command. Never.
and once I saw the double Melfi, that's kind of when I knew it was kind of gonna be a rough game, if not over at that point, because 1 Melfi and 6 other resonators was like, okay, he can't activate the Melfi. I can still get some damage in with the Sylvia before he kills it or something. But the double Melfi is just like Melfi, boom, and that's 13 damage that I've just lost. So that was really rough.
Would you consider going on the draw in the future in order to keep them off the Energize for Mephistopheles to force them to have the Melfi to get the red, to produce the red for it?
Possibly. I mean, I didn't put too much thought into that into this matchup because we haven't tested post board, so I didn't really know what would be the optimal strategy for IU, because IU can theoretically play similar to Prisha in the sense that going second's not bad because you're up a 7-card hand with an Energize, and you play the Water Dragon, so you're not really losing tempo if you hit it early enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there is some argument that could be made to do something like that, but it wasn't something that I was willing to try.
Yeah, in the top 8 match. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I was talking to both Driz and Aaron beforehand about how they felt their matchup was, and again, Aaron was telling me that he didn't expect to see a lot of IU at the tournament, which makes sense, in Swiss, I mean. And then Driz was talking about how, as you said, you guys didn't play test much of the matchup because most of the Lumia Command people were
OTG.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively a team.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was definitely an interesting matchup. I was talking on stream about that. I've played Command a lot, but this is one of the few matchups I haven't played it against, so I had no idea what to expect with IU. I figured he'd have a good game 1, especially with him having no foresights and to rely on his Melfis. And
it's funny. If I would have won against Toby, I probably would have lost game 1 because Toby mainboards Amaterasu's foresight.
Oh yeah.
But with him not maining foresights and him not having Meph in the main. Game 1 is pretty much just IU's to take.
Yeah, it's just almost free, right?
Yeah. I did have to play it a little slow, and I'm sure you guys saw that I was taking my time on. I had 3 or 4 spirits in hand, but I was like, I'm not just gonna dump them out and.
Yeah.
Oops, here's double Melfi. You'll lose your game.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because you could have won 2 or 3 turns earlier, but you don't necessarily know what's in his hand.
Right, and in a competitive setting like this, I don't really want to take the chance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do know what his list is, but something.
Yeah. So I had a question, because we didn't hear the table audio. We're going to try to get that turned up in the next one. For the final battles, were you paying the 14 or were you paying the 22 to play around Rapid Growth?
So the first time I paid 22.
Okay.
The second time I paid 14.
Okay, well the game 3 was you had to be more careful too because you could just get swung at and killed.
Right. I was at 30 something. I finished 32. So I paid the 14 to go down to 18, and it was he either cancels it and I die on the crackback anyway.
Yeah.
Or I clear his board and I win the game right there.
Okay, yeah.
And it was, it's those Hail Mary plays that you really have to take because, with triple Lumia on board and double Melfi and a Sacred, I feel like you don't even have to pump them.
I was talking on the stream that I was surprised you didn't Godstar for Final Battle. Turns out it was in your hand. So.
Yeah, it was in my hand. And then I actually thought about Godstarting for One and Only.
Oh, yeah.
But it unfortunately, like at that point in the game, it just hits the same fate as Final Battle, where he's just going to Otherworld Dreams it, or, you know...
Well, with 4
severing.
Lumias, he has like essentially 13-card hand against your 6-card hand, and you only can have up to 3 cancel spells in your entire hand, whereas he has like 6 or 7.
So it's a really rough matchup, and it's unfortunate that I lost, but...
At least you lost to a team member, you know?
Yeah, at least I lost to a team member.
Just when the match starts, just volume keeps a little lower.
Okay, so Driz is commentating on the... Okay. Well, we'll have Driz Foskin as the commentator for our top 4 match as well. I'm assuming we're going to have the Ryan Miles Joseph Ray match.
Nope,
It's going to be Aaron again? Okay. All right, so we'll have Aaron Miles again on stream against... they're the exact same matchup. They're almost card for card the exact same matchup. Yeah.
It's an OTG Outer World semifinals.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. So we've got Ryan Miles from On Tilt, who gets to choose to play or draw against Joseph Ray on Outer World with Wind Darkness Fair, and then you have Aaron Miles on Tilt choosing to play or draw against Brandon Bremont, who's Outer World with Wind Dark Fair. So you have literally, and I'm pretty sure they're card for card the same decks too. So it's the exact same matchup, so it'll be interesting to see if they go the same way or not. Personally, I actually really like the Lumia Command Fair matchup, but I've never played against the green-black variant. I was talking to Brandon about it a little bit on stream yesterday, and after his round 1 victory against the Charlotte player, but I have literally no idea.
I actually have a newfound hatred for that ruler.
Fair?
Yes, I hate Fair. He is god awful to deal with, especially in a deck like mine where I just run a bunch of singleton cards.
Oh yeah.
Seeing him flip and like just having those 4 counters, and you're like, if I final battle you, I've got to do it for like 4,600 life.
I think you just try to handle the flying clouds, right? And you still don't bother with him.
So what I was doing, and I played Fair. Ooh.
Sorry, guys, I'm just putting the gameplay on. I'm not being really weird. There you go. All right. Oh. Continue.
So I played Fair 3 times yesterday. 3? Yeah, about 3 times. And I played it once on stream, which I drew, but then I won my other 2 matches against it. One of which is Brandon Bremont. I actually beat him in Swiss yesterday. And the biggest thing that I found, even with like the flying clouds and like the villages and stuff like that they had on the mains and the sides, because it's so easy to give IU precision, I can actually final battle for a lot less with just enough to kill his board and then swing into the Fair. So that's like the strategy that I was working with. I would definitely...
That's what I did with Tree.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing with Gil Lapis. You Gil Lapis and then final battle has precision and swing into the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would just like final battle, clear the board, pitch a soul, give IU precision, swing into your Fair, and you lock up the game like that. But I do hate that ruler a lot. He is oppressive.
Yeah, that's the nice mechanic about Force of Will is that you do have precision or not even necessarily precision, but being able to attack into resonators as a way to get around barriers.
Why did you say Jeremy's name?
Alright, so Driz Foskin is the commentator. For some reason, it's showing a different showing on the computer than it is on the television screen, but I'll have Jeremy fix that very shortly. So
see what's going on in the chat.
We need the commentators thing to come over here, if you can do that.
Sure. We're not playing yet, guys. You can just...
No, we know the round hasn't started yet.
So I'm gonna... There you go.
Oh, okay, we're going back? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then when you're ready to... Oh, this should be... So we keep talking to the crowd.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to... So, by the way, do you guys want to know the reason I played IU at this event? Do you guys know that?
Yeah, no, I don't know why you did that.
Alright, so it's actually very funny. We're sitting at Zach Tufford's house Friday. You know, we drive in, because, like, I haven't touched the game since Worlds of last year. Like,
When you kicked my ass, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, oh, you know what? No, that's not true. I went to an ARG, ARG New Jersey,
Okay.
like the week or two after Worlds, and then like that's the last time I touched the game. When Advent came out, I didn't look at the cards, I didn't buy any cards, I didn't go to any pre-releases. I was off the grid entirely, and then up until a week ago, Aaron and Ryan and them were like, "Hey, Drizzle, you going down to Atlanta?" And I was like, "I don't really know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure. I haven't really touched the game. So if you guys put me on a list, you know, I'll come and I'll play."
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I'm not a deck builder. That's my team's job. They're better at it than I am. But I just want to read some stuff.
Okay,
But-
no problem.
At the last minute, I was just like, yeah, I'll just go. You know, it'd be good to take a break and kind of go to an event again and hang out with the boys. So we
So
get
you top
to,
aided.
huh?
You
Yeah,
top
right.
aided.
Yeah. So we get to Zach Tuffert's house, and I'm like, all right, guys, what are we playing? What's the spice? What's the meta looking like? And we're like, okay, the meta's like IU aggro, tree, and fair. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to play tree because I'd actually just rather not.
Yeah,
Uh,
understandable.
And that's when everybody on the teacher's like, oh, we're going to play Lumia, because that's like the OTG staple, right? Every event where you see a Lumia deck, or at least you see Ryan Miles on Lumia.
Mhm.
But we played Lumia at Masters, we played Lumia at Worlds, we played Lumia at ARGs, it doesn't matter. You'll see
Yeah,
Lumia.
yeah.
And I was like, awesome, yeah, let's play some Lumia. And then I realized that I didn't pack the 4 Lumia Resonators from Vingolf 3.
Oh,
And since Vingolf 3 is pretty much not printed anywhere else anymore because everybody just bought them out.
you should have
that
asked me. I could have gotten cards from Brandon. I brought 2 Lumia Resonators. He brought the other 2. Yeah, you
I
could've
didn't
played
know.
Lumia.
But so we're sitting at Tuffert's house. I'm like, guys, I don't have these cards. I have like most of this stuff, but I don't have the Lumias, which is like, you know, the
Yeah.
cornerstone of the deck.
Yeah.
And so Aaron's just like, hey, Driz, I've got this IU deck in my backpack.
How would you guys rank IU amongst other J-Rolls in regards to OTK? Okay, are you talking legal cards or non-legal cards? Because legal cards, it's the best OTK ruler, period. The
Oh,
only
yeah.
other thing there is the Seal OTK and Fair. But I don't like that very much. I really don't even like playing Seal in Bant Fair. I just think that it makes the deck clunky for you to have this cute little thing you can get against bad players.
I'm gonna say this right now. I have not OTK'd a single person with IU.
Yeah, but it is the best thing. I have
Yeah.
done it once, where I knew that my opponent was playing Bant Fair and they had the OTK on board, and so I just swung with IU and didn't even discard a soul, and just to see if they block with their commander, which was the thing they needed for the OTK, and they didn't have any tokens left, and they were like, I'll take it, because they were at 40, and so I could just go 6 card hand, 6 souls. And they were like,
Yeah, I've had games where I'll have like anywhere from 4 to 6 souls in my hand, but I never drop them all because like you just never know what kind of random stuff people are playing in
well,
these
he
lists.
was rested out, so
Yeah,
there's nothing
and
you could do at that point.
I just want to like swing for 10. They're like, damage is good. Pump to
Yeah.
15, take damage, go. And
Yeah,
you just it's a little slow early, I will admit, especially when like you know that the game is won, but you can never be too sure.
Yeah, I'd like to go 15 so I can be flying and then see whether they block. But sometimes if they have like a bird, then I'll just swing for 10 because then if they block, then you know to do the pierce. And
Yeah.
if they don't block, then you don't use your pierce, and it's nice.
But another thing is that like a lot of the no, they're not starting yet just yet.
Yeah.
A lot of the lists that I saw were running like Melfi's, and I don't think I ran it. No, I did run into a couple of Foresights because I played a bunch of Bant Fair lists, and I have to say I hate that card too.
Foresight?
Yeah, Foresight is not a fun card.
Yeah, it's
Granted, I played one of it.
the card's negative tempo, so it's like super not that great. But against IU, it just does a lot of work. Like,
Yeah, it's just too good.
I don't even really like it against Fair. It just well unless they playing the OTK version, which I
Yeah.
don't really like.
But-
But against IU, it's really good because IU's main thing is I'm just gonna hit you with my J roller a billion times.
Yeah, and like that's another reason why you kind of learn how to slow roll with your souls, is because you don't want to just dump them on the table and then get foresighted, and then you're like, well, now I have one card in my hand and no game to play.
But Richard, in response to your question among all J rulers, because I don't know whether you're asking legal or illegal, the
Valentina 2.0.
No, the best OTK was always Prisha with
Prisha, no,
Levitine.
100%.
yeah, obviously.
Come on,
and then after
guys.
that, there's That's the only really OTK. So outside of that, then I guess it would be. Well, there's also. Okay, so if we're talking super illegal, there's Whispers and Tree in Wander, which is Whispers is banned because of this OTK. That's probably the best OTK in the entire game, where you draw 7 cards, and if you have Morgiana on the field, you draw 21 cards, essentially. Pick 7, and then...
Talking about the Wanderer thing?
Yeah.
Or like the Origin?
I'm saying the best OTK, if you just consider...
The Chronos
anything
thing?
in the world, it's Whispers and Tree. You go down to 100 life, you just play a whole bunch of Igdors, and then play Precious Call to Action, give them all swiftness, and then attack with them.
I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. My favorite OTK.
A lot of these cards are banned.
Commentating, I need to teach you how to update life totals.
Okay.
So.
Oh, there is the Arla. You're right, 307. There is the Arla OTK with Gris plus the Secret Technique. That's a really interesting one too. People used to cite that in the
just click save, and it'll update.
Okay.
Alhama OTK build.
Okay.
Brandon, Aaron.
All right, cool.
You're in charge.
Sweet.
Okay, yeah, Chronos OTK never existed in the US though. We're just not going to talk about Chronos OTK.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys right now. My favorite OTK is Pumpkin Witch OTK.
Oh, I love that one.
Because it is the most fun. Nothing says... Would Ayu be busted if you changed the card limit to 2? I do not think so. I think after playing this deck for like 8 rounds, which is not a whole lot, like 20-some games of Forcible, right? After playing Ayu, I think like part of what makes her good is the fact that like you do only have one of each card.
No, I think 2 would be broken if the souls were allowed to be 2, because you have 14 souls in the deck.
Yeah, but then like here's the thing, right? Is that like you can play 40 good singular cards, right? And when you increase the limits, which is like the reason why deck spaces are tight, right? Which is why you see a lot of the lists at top have the same lists or like the same cards. It's because it's like here is 10 or 11 irrevocably good cards that we can play in this list, but we need to maximize the quantities without overstuffing the deck with them.
Yeah.
Now with Ayu,
we wouldn't run 14 probably.
yeah. So with Ayu, you know, because you can only run of each card, you have to consider what you're picking up and what you're putting in the deck. But like you can also at the same time, because you're 5 color, right?
Yeah.
You can play cards from any color. So you're not limited to like the good cards in just like green or just blue or just red or just white or just black, where all the other decks are like that. You know, you're playing 4 Melfish, you're playing 4 Sacred Elf, and you're like, well, these are staples, I have to play these, you know, and it just limits your deck space more and more. So I think by increasing the number of cards that she could put in, I don't think it'd make her busted. I think, I don't know.
Restriction breeds creativity. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like...
How do I feel about the current meta? After not playing for 4 or 5 months, I think the meta is a little...
Okay, hold on. We've got Aaron Miles has a... Okay, we have
Oh,
to be
they're
really
starting the
quiet
game.
for this.
Starting
Okay,
the
wait,
game,
wait,
guys.
wait. So, Aaron Miles has a Sha Wuxing, a Severing Wind, a True Blade, a Sacred Elf, and I don't see the 5th card.
Can we move
After
this?
Mulligan. So that's actually a decent start. He has the Sacred Elf, but he doesn't really have a way to protect it, unfortunately.
Alright, so it's good.
He does have a True Blade to protect against the Sacred Elf play on the other way, which I think...
Sacred Elf.
Yeah, I think he's going to True Blade, yep. And that's great for Aaron. Puts him up on tempo.
Alright, so Aaron was on the play, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron was
Jones.
on the play.
I will answer your question in a little bit, though, Musakan. So let's see what's going on. So Aaron's probably want to try and drop down that Sha Wuxing. I don't know if there's...
Sorry. Just trying to get the timer started. The timer? No, it's not running.
Alright, but yeah,
Okay.
so he's going to drop the Sha Wuxing out. He's going to make... Like, he was able to resolve it, so I mean, like, it's really good for him, because now Brandon can't do any of his shenanigans. Like, Otherworld Dreams are going to cost 2, his Severing's going to cost 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to Severing the Flying Cloud. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it makes it really rough in that
And he's going to True Blade the Elf, yeah.
all of a sudden he's just almost auto-winning Cancel Wars because he's paying 1 less for every
Exactly.
cancel. Yeah.
Now he drew into Lumia this turn too, so you're really going to start seeing Aaron pick up some tempo here. He's going to call Stone. He's probably going to drop that Lumia. I think that's the right play right now over the Tama, but I could be wrong. Let's see what he does.
I think the
Let's go
Lumia is
for the
correct because
Tama.
he may want to see his whole hand first.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so Brandon's rested out. I would play Lumia with the Sacred Elf, and then obviously Flicker the Sacred Elf.
Oh, he can just kill his board. Yeah, that makes more sense.
That's true.
And he's gonna start keeping Brandon off cards.
Just gonna play it slow, which is fine. I mean, right now he doesn't even really need Fair's Command.
I don't think he's in really any. It's not in any real trouble.
Even though his hands, True Blade, Rapid Growth, and Lumia, and
he drew
the World Dreams.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That it came down after the commander. But I don't think it really matters. I think Aaron's in a really good spot.
Yeah, well, definitely, the Lumia will give him 3 more cards, so I'm sure he'll see more cancels. And there's nothing Brandon can do because Brandon can't actually play any card in the game right now.
Yeah.
So, because of that Sha Wuxing.
He's gonna swing.
He's
gonna jump out Lumia. There you go.
A safe Lumia. Brandon can't even play a cancel spell.
He has to save his Energize for. Whoa, there's the command.
Well, it doesn't matter because Sha Wuxing, so he can't even play other World Dreams.
Yeah. Well, he could Energize into a Severing, and that's about it. Now that the second card has come out, but I don't think it matters. Aaron's already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can actually just command him next turn and go for the win.
He doesn't have it, I don't think.
No, he pulled it under the Lumia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh yeah, so he just wins next turn.
If Brandon, no, well, we can't say that because
Brandon has to flip, but
he does have to flip. But
Brandon's gonna flip, get the fair, so he'll have a 10-10 and a 8-10 plus the commander.
Well, Brandon doesn't play Tia in his list, does he?
Oh, do you know what the second card is under Lumia besides the command?
I think it's another World Dreams.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
So it's certainly gonna be fair, yep. And then, so right now you're looking at what's Sha Wuxing's stats? 8-7?
7, 8. Oh yeah, 8-7, 8-7.
Okay, so you got 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, plus 50. So you got 68 minus 10, 20, 2, 9. Here's 39 plus. I still think you Fair's Command here.
I don't think so. I don't think you need to. There's no.
Well, now that he attacked, I mean, it's now you're doing 3,900 damage.
Yeah, so he takes how much? 9?
Yeah. You're doing 27 minus the counters or whatever.
End of turn.
Alright, so he's gonna in turn slash in that Melfi, right?
Yeah.
Did he pull that from under the Lumia? So it's a Melfi, Fair's Command, and I think it's another World Dreams?
Well, now I think it's just straight up lethal.
Well, I think
that makes it
okay, yeah, he's gonna kill the tokens. If he starts picking up the tokens. Now he's only got 3 blockers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna at least get in 30 damage.
Well, I think he Fair's Command just because you wipe his whole board. He has nothing. He doesn't have a fair anymore. He doesn't have anything, and you're just gonna outplay.
He's got too many, yeah.
Plus you get your J Ruler. You can flip one in his turn after the Fair's Command. There you go.
Yeah,
and he just scoops. So it's game 1 for Brandon.
No, it's game 1 for Aaron.
That's what I meant. Sorry, game 1 for Aaron. Brandon is scooping. We got it updated. Yep, we're good. As a really fast match, Lumia Command is a set kind of combo-y deck. It tends to win or lose pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was indeed a quick game 1.
Yep. But luckily, because Ryan Miles made top 8 or top 4, even if Brandon loses, it doesn't matter for the World's invite because he, even though he's the lower seed, because Ryan Miles is an unpaid invite, meaning his unpaid invite will be passed down to the fourth place player no matter what, which means Brandon Brimont is guaranteed a 2018 World's invite, even if he loses.
Yeah.
Although it will be unpaid, obviously.
Yeah. I think everybody in the low seeds won. No, because Ryan was 2nd seed, right?
Yeah.
Ryan was 2nd. Toby lost, and he was Toby lost, and he was.
Toby lost. Yes, 2, 5, 6, 8.
2, 5, 6, 8. So all the low seeds won.
Except for Ryan.
Except for Ryan.
It's interesting. You don't really see that happen that often because of the play draw, but Energize is kind of made play draw not that relevant, to be honest.
I don't know. I feel like it is, because if I don't know if Aaron's gonna slide in Mephistopheles against Fair, but I don't think it'd be awful. I know it's specifically for the IU match, but
I don't think I'd side it in. I think that the main board's so picked out for Fair specifically that you barely side anything, if anything.
Yeah, the deck lists are posted on the Force of Will TCG US page.
Now, the one thing Brandon has is I know that the whole Outer World players are playing 3 Nameless Mists. So if he can get the Nameless Mist and kick the command out of Aaron's hand, with the on-tilt lists only running 2 command, it does make it extremely hard for Aaron to be able to win through Fair. Normally the Fair players can't pick out your commands, they're pretty safe, but because it's a green-black list, the Nameless Mist helps significantly. However, the only time we've seen this matchup played, which was in Swiss, with Ryan, the Alex Blandon was never able to actually resolve a Nameless Mist, so then it didn't end up mattering. So, so you kind of need to wait like a turn, but not too long. You have to play your Nameless Mist at like the perfect time to maximize the number of cards you see, while also avoiding losing a cancel or over a Nameless Mist.
Yeah, so they're gonna get started in the second game shortly.
Because for the most part, the Resonators in Lumia Command don't do much. Sha Wujing's about the only one who can actually hit for anything decent.
Oh, look at that opening hand. Is that 2 Nameless Mists I see in Brandon's hand?
Oh my gosh, Aaron's hand is gas.
Is it?
Yeah, he has 2 Sacred Elves, a Lumia, he has a
Bear Magic.
I don't know what the top card is.
Bear Magic and
Bear
Bear
Magic.
Yeah, he's gonna ship those.
Yeah.
I'd ship those 2. And he's got a Lumia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Rapid
He's
growth.
got 2 Rapid Growth.
Just had double Rapid Growth.
Yeah. Well, he's not ever going to lose his elves. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid hand. But like
got
at
a
the same
True Blade.
time, if Brandon just starts canceling his stuff, it doesn't really get anywhere with it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pass here, but turn 2 he can just go double Sacred Elf.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the Nameless Mist. I think that's a little bit early. I think you want to wait until turn 3 to do it, but
I don't think it matters what spell you take here, but I would say the True Blade's
Blade,
the best, yeah.
just let him. You basically already have infinite uses of Rapid Growth if you have 3, so
Yeah.
4 doesn't matter. But give them 1 True Blade.
And he's gonna play that Sacred Elf. He's gonna get a True Blade or no? Okay. Another Nameless Mist in Brandon's hand.
Oh, that's why he did it on turn 2. Well, now you have to wait several turns just to make sure you maximize the amount of draw that you see.
Yeah. Well, honestly, what's he doing? Planting beans.
To get the Fair Resonator.
Yeah,
So he
put the
plays
Fair
a
in the
4-mana Resonate. The Fair Resonator that you saw last game. It has the ability that you can rest 5 recovered elves in order to bring it back from the graveyard.
He
so what
he
they do
did
is
that
they-
against me. He was like planting beans, and I was like, what the heck is he getting with planting beans?
So they
What
flip
possible card?
when they Judgment. They get Oberon to get 3 elf tokens, and then at the end of your turn they'll tap all. Oh, they'll rest all 5 to bring back Fair. So then everything just recovers.
Wait,
and
you
they
can
have-
rest Fair for that ability?
Yeah, it's an elf. It's not elf Resonator. Yeah, so it just automatically rests. You flip Fair and you automatically have 5. So then you just have this ridiculous board, which is part of the reason this deck's pretty good.
That's crazy.
The other reason is because they get the Spirit Stones against a lot of the matchups, but the Spirit Stones aren't that good against Lumia Command because you go down way too fast on Will.
Oh.
I mean, if you look at Aaron, he already has 5 Will on the board versus 3, and he's gonna end up having that Lumia. Oh,
He's
he
gonna
got
check it.
canceled. Never mind. Sorry.
He's gonna get the Oberon, I assume.
Yeah, he's gonna get the Oberon, get the combo out, and then just he knows Aaron doesn't have the command in hand, so or even a Melfi, so he's just gonna try to or a Foresight, so he can just go ham and just hope to kill Aaron before Aaron can get a command out with enough Resonators. Because if Aaron starts blocking, then Aaron has no win con anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And Rapid Growth really isn't that much of a threat either. He has to double Rapid Growth just for a Sacred Elf to trade with.
Oh, I
the
think he does
Fair.
have the command in hand, though.
Oh, the Shot Wishing helps significantly then. Detroit.
Yeah, he has the command in hand, 100%.
But remember that Brandon also has a Nameless Mist in hand, so if Brandon Nameless Mists here, then it's really bad for
Oh wow, he just flipped up Final Battle.
Yeah.
Drift return. That's actually really good for Brandon.
Yeah, I think he final battles for. Well, I think he Namel's Miss first, so he can get rid of the Severing if he needs to or whatever, and then you final battle. Yeah, there you go.
Did he cancel the Nameless Miss?
No, it's the Shaoxing.
Oh.
So he obviously he's gonna hit the
Yeah.
command.
No, with the Fair spell, or the Fair command, he just takes that.
There's no way he takes a Rapid Growth. Well, he took a Rapid Growth.
He took a Rapid Growth?
He took a Rapid Growth. I guess he's just saying that, I'm gonna final battle. And I don't
Well,
want
you know why? It's because he knows the final battle is safe.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to play an insane amount of life to clear his board.
But because he has 4 will available, so then it's 1 less Rapid Growth to worry about.
Yeah.
But you still have to pay the same amount of life no matter what, I guess. So 3 Rapid Growths is going to be 4, 8, 12, and then 8, 7, so it's a 19. So he's going to have to pay 3,800 life to kill this Shaoxing.
Yeah.
Plus the
like,
extra 1 off the attack. So he's going to have to pay 3,800 life and tap out, or rest out.
Yeah.
But then I think he wins. I think he just wins at that point. Because Aaron doesn't have anything in hand, and he can't flip Lumia because he doesn't have a red source.
Yeah, I think. No, he does. He's got a Blasting Waves.
Oh, is it? We just can't see it because of the glare?
I'm pretty sure that's Blasting Waves. No, that's a Gusting Skies. I'm
That's
sorry.
a Gusting Skies, yeah. So,
I'll still enter my combat. Attack.
oh, he's just going to attack to try to bait Aaron into doing something stupid. I think this final battle just straight up wins it. But he has to pay 38 specifically.
Yeah, but there's no real threat after that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he...
Because Aaron has no swiftness, he has no burn. Lumia can't hit him. Oh, actually he has the Energize. So he can actually flip.
Oh, yeah. See, look at us being bad at the game.
Yeah. But he can hold open the 10-10, and there's nothing Aaron can play that can remove it.
He can just blink it.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So this is black plus 1 extra. And then I'm going to go down to 2.
So what is he paying?
He's paying 38.
Maybe negative 19. So 200? Minus 19.
So this will be really interesting if he, this will be really interesting to see how Aaron handles this. Because if Aaron top decks a True Blade, I think he just wins. But I think he has to top deck.
No, because Fair still has 4. He has 4 counters on his Fair.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, we were talking about Fair earlier. Yeah, but Brandon can't. Brandon has to attack.
I think Brandon just has to hold up at least 1 blocker.
Well, no, I would.
He's going to flip.
I would attack with the... So if I'm Aaron, I attack and flicker a token just to kill it.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it matters. He's not going to waste a counter protecting a token.
He might, though.
Oh, Aaron doesn't want to lose his Lumia because he doesn't play Gnarl. So he doesn't have the Imperishable, unfortunately.
Yeah, but this gives Brandon an opportunity to start. There you go.
Flying Cloud's rough.
Flying Cloud.
So he can hit 8 a turn. Oh,
He's
Aaron
gonna
just
skip the
scoops.
game.
We're going to
Yeah,
go to game 3. Yeah, 3,800 final value. When it's good, it's good. I do it in tree a lot.
I usually do like 3,600.
It doesn't really make a difference when there's a Ambition of Lapis is 4.
Yeah.
You gotta pay whatever you gotta pay to be safe, and then.
I want to charge my phone.
Oh, there's no charging. You can put it in the USB, but it won't charge very well.
Nah, it's cool.
Okay. I mean, game 2 was quick, but it wasn't game 1. Game 1 was 5 minutes. Game 2 is 11. So.
Yeah. This match is probably going to go quick, though, entirely.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh,
So we may be in finals pretty soon.
I'm actually just going to take this bronze Keurig. They can't stop me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can.
Nah, guys.
Isn't the Jason Energized token? Yes, that is correct. I just forgot about the Energized coin when I was talking about not being able to flip Lumia.
Oh, so to answer, somebody asked me a question earlier, right? They're shuffled up. I'll try and talk real quick. So to answer the question that I was asked about the current meta right now, I think, I think it's a fun meta. I think even though the top 8 wasn't really diverse, you had 4 Lumia, 3 Fair, and then the single IU.
And the fairs were 2 different fairs. You had one green, white, blue fair, and 2 green, black fairs.
Yeah, I think as far as I don't want to say it's an open meta because I don't think that's true, but I do think that there's opportunity for more roguelike decks to start seeing
Also,
some.
if you guys
play.
saw Victor Harris's tree list, I actually think that deck should have top 8'd, and I think that deck is really, really good in this current meta, his burn tree. And honestly, I think he had game against Andrew Vatland, his green-black fairy list, if he didn't pay down to 3 for no reason with his Melgus to lose the Ambition of Lapis in Game 3. So I think he probably would have top 8'd if he hadn't done that, because he just had such a good matchup against a large part of the field. Obviously, something random like Burning Tree, I'm not going to have any knowledge of its matchup against Lumia Command. But Lumia Command tends to have a good tree matchup in general. But Burn Tree is a little bit different. Burn tends to be really good against command lists. So, and when you start at 50 life instead of 40, it also changes the math for command lists. So
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I think I played Tree once or twice yesterday. Once. Definitely once. Because I would remember easy wins. Not to mean. No, for IU, though, Tree is kind of a cakewalk. You just have so much. There's no threats to you, and you can just sit there and swing for 10.
Yep.
They're on turn 2. Okay, so he tries to resolve a Lumia, and it's
and it
going
gets
to get
Otherworld Dreams. He puts in the bird with the
Gonna
dreams.
get that free bird. Or is he gonna Severing the bird? Do it. Do it. Severing the bird.
I actually don't mind that play. I don't really agree with Aaron siding in the foresights against this matchup.
Why? I don't want to get OTK'd.
It's not green with blue.
He's severing the bird.
Yeah, I think that was the correct play. You keep him off cards. That's really what you want to do with
No,
Lumia.
I know why you do it.
But
And he's got the Nameless Mist. Oh, but the Millennium Bond comes through.
that was such a good play. Yeah.
Is he gonna
Baiting like he's trying
Did
to
he draw?
protect,
He drew Severing off that too. Aaron's hand's real bad.
I mean, he's gonna lose the Millennium Bond anyway. So. Yeah, but that's the problem when you're going against Fair. So Fair guarantees you that you have a really good play in the game at some point. You either get a Fair or you get a Oberon into a Fair.
Yeah.
And so you always have that every game no matter what. And in Lumia, you can have these games where you draw and you're like, oh god, I have 3 Otherworld Dreams and a Severing Winds in my hand and I can't actually play anything. And then you just lose to a J-Ruler like IU, or you lose to a J-Ruler like Fair or something.
Jeez, another. Alright, he's gonna Otherworld Dreams that.
And that's why I don't really like Foresight, because I feel
He's
like you're
gonna
adding
get the free
another
planting
card
games
that
after that.
doesn't do what you want to do against this matchup. It's really good against, they're tempoing out against IU to get to that command method.
I actually don't think Aaron's in a really bad spot so far in this game.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know that I agree with having things in that don't contribute to your game plan,
Wait, what?
unless they're like
he planted
lightning
games.
rods, like Mephistopheles or Foresight against IU, for example.
Oh no, okay, he planting beams Fair. Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Swinging for
He's
2.
gonna swing in for 2.
Brandon will be at 38. I'll flicker the elf.
Uh, 38,000 life is not
He's
what he
just
has,
gonna put
guys.
Fair. I think
Hold
he
on.
realizes that Aaron's not in a great spot. He hasn't seen his hand.
Fair
but-
does not have 38,000 life.
Oh, that Dawn's really good.
Huh?
That Dawn is super good for Aaron,
Oh yeah, he's played Dawn.
because it keeps him from overrunning into Fair.
Yeah, but now that he's played the Dawn, he's just gonna get a throwaway card.
Yeah, so the Spirit Color Elf comes out of the deck to avoid drawing it. And this is a very important play that a lot of new Fair players don't understand. A lot of people fail to search. You really should always in your deck, if you get Dawned.
Shuffle your deck.
well, they'll fail to find. They'll just say, I don't have a, I'll fail to find an elf in my deck. And it's really better to get rid of what's within your deck and get rid of a bad card, a bad late game card when somebody dons you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just gonna put that Flying Cloud.
I know Aaron used to, if I could resolve a Dawn against him in Foxy, it's a lot of times even just remove one from game because he could get it from there too. So it's just like...
It looks like he's just gonna swing in for a 10.
So we're gonna have 38 to 30. And that Flying Cloud's going to prove really important. Aaron does have a foresight to buy a turn, but just, he's on a 4-turn clock.
Wait, how did he swing on that turn?
That was the...
No, because he flipped and he just stunned him.
He flipped when he had 5 mana. Now he has 7 mana. So, yeah. It's just that Aaron's draw passing. So it's going fast.
Oh.
Alright, there's a bird.
I'm really concerned on like what Aaron has to do here. It looks like he's got 1 or 2 foresights in his hand.
Yeah, so if he can buy time to get stuff on board, he could cheese out a win with the command.
Ooh, final battle.
Well, that's gonna be killer. Because these foresights aren't gonna really do much at all. Now Aaron's gonna be able to like Dawn and protect against this, but I think he's gonna play around Rapid Growth.
I don't know how much you paid. I assume it was just enough to kill them, so like 6.
Well, I wouldn't say that because there's Rapid Growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say 14.
14? Alright. So that puts him down to 24.
Yeah.
Is he gonna foresight him? Yeah. Other World Dreams. So now it comes down to, can Aaron win this counter war? Does he have the Severing in hand? If he has the Severing in hand, I think Aaron just... Oh.
Oh, he's sacking his stones to get to Severing.
Yeah.
He doesn't need them. Like, he doesn't need will.
Yeah.
Though I don't agree with that. I just really don't agree with that. You have game. You're literally just swinging every turn for game. Just let him.
I think Aaron just loses here, though. He doesn't have any Resonators on board.
Well, yeah, but if Aaron can kill Fair now...
Oh, he draws into another Tama.
Oh, it's because he was trying to OTK with the Fair.
Yeah.
And just walked right into a... Aaron can cheese this.
Can he? Fair has flying.
Yeah, but if he has a Melfi in hand, he could just kill Brandon.
He doesn't have Melfi.
And off the final battle. Oh, well, here you go. That was a pretty good top deck.
I don't know how much he's paying. Oh, but he's gonna hardcast Severing Winds. I assume he paid...
And that's the problem with stacking the stones. Now he just doesn't have a way to interact with.
So he's gonna go down to 10. Aaron has to do something this turn, or he's gonna just...
Yeah, I'm just assuming he only paid 6 this time, so 18.
6? Yeah. Alright, we'll just assume. We have no idea what he's paying on Final Battle.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Oh, he's got the Melfi.
Sorry,
he's got the Melfi. Aaron drew the Melfi.
Does he have something to... he has
He has Bear Magic in hand. Bear Magic in hand. And he just hits a redstone. Okay, this is actually pretty good for Aaron. I think at this point, Aaron is okay with trading Lumia for... Alright, he's going to go down to 2.
Well, here's the question. So if you... Do you put in Melfi on his draw step so that he can't respond to the Melfi? So you Melfi Bear Magic.
No, what is he going to do to the Melfi, though? He's got 1 stone.
What?
2.
He's got 1 stone, but he could Otherworld Dreams your Melfi. Which you don't want. So you could just do it on draw step.
Hold on, so I went to 2, 4, 6. So he just another 2, another 4. So he's at 12. And then he drew a card after flickering the Tama. Now I think it's fine here because Brandon's got another final battle.
So you'd rather have the rested J Ruler than the guaranteed Melfi.
Huh?
So if you Melfi to fog the J Ruler, if you do it on draw step, he can't respond, he can't Otherworld Dreams it. But if you do it now, then he can Otherworld Dreams, and so you run a risk. I don't know if he has a cancel in his hand. I know he has a Dawn, but that
No,
doesn't help.
he said it resolved.
Oh, okay then.
It's gonna Bear Magic.
Just Bear Magic one of it is Tama. And now if he's command, which I don't think I think he still doesn't.
He doesn't have command in his hand, but like Brandon can't really do anything here. But he's gonna flip that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Aaron gets it.
wins. Yeah.
Last turn was awkward. I'm like, I have Dawn of the Earth and Bear Magic.
So Aaron's gonna secure that game
I
3
think
after almost losing. That was really
Aaron
rough.
got it.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought like
I think the
I
correct
don't think
decision
you really had
was
a
not
chance if,
to
like,
sack
you
the
didn't
stones.
draw
I think you
something.
needed the will of
But
it.
but here's the thing is that he needed
I was just
that cancel.
Okay, so here's the thing. Well, I think the
If
taking
Brandon-
out I think that the taking out the counters was bad too. So because you have 4 counters on your fairy and you're hitting for 10 every turn, just hit them for 10 twice. Aaron has nothing in the game. Okay, so you're just playing it unnecessarily into like Melfi. You know he has Melfi, even if you don't know he has well, you know he's Foresight because you know his deck list, right? So even if you think he's not in the Foresights, you know he has Melfi. There's no reason to add
Well, I
counters
kept it in my
when
opening
you-
hand. That's why it was like so important that I get that.
Like,
hand.
not
Yeah,
to
but
be
like
rude to
but
Brandon,
like
I'm just
realistically,
saying.
like what is
But
he
I was
gonna
like,
do?
well,
Like
I hate this, so like you probably have to play around.
because Aaron can stabilize like he just did. Like you have to take those plays. You have to be like, all right, I've got to make that reach.
But I don't. If I don't have protection,
Because like think about it like this, right? So let's say he swings in for 10 and Aaron is at 10 now currently.
Yes.
Then what? Then he just gets foresighted a turn later. He just gets Melfi a turn later. It doesn't
Okay,
really
but
change
you
anything.
Still have. You're still attacking the air, and they don't have he doesn't have a blocker. So you're forcing Aaron to have a foresight every turn. Plus you have 3 wills, so now you can start interacting a lot better with his board. You can final battle and hold open will to protect your final battle. You can do like with only 1 will, you can only do 1 thing every turn, no matter what it is. And
Okay, Josh, I'm gonna explain to you this one. Sorry. So yeah, with her trigger, so you play the Melfi with Melfi on the chase.
Melfi's trigger on the chase.
Or with Melfi's trigger on the chase. Sorry, you cast another spell, and he casted he casted Bear Magic on his Elf, I think, or his Tama.
Tama, yeah.
To proc the
Here, I got it.
I got it.
No, you gotta go to the screen.
This screen.
Yeah, and then you go to scene 3.
All right. So so you use the Bear Magic on his Tama to proc the Melfi effect to blank out the damage from Fae for that turn.
Yeah. So because of the way there's unlike Magic the Gathering, you have there's no intervening if clause in Force. So if something has an if clause, it doesn't matter until resolution. So in other words, when you play Melfi, the trigger has an if clause. So on resolution of this trigger, it will say, "Have you played 2 spells this turn?" So you play Melfi, the trigger happens, and then you play the Bear Magic on your Tama. Well, after the Bear Magic resolves, you've played 2 spells as soon as you play the Bear Magic, but when the trigger eventually resolves, you've played this Bear Magic and the Melfi, and thus the Melfi still works. And you can do this way to get around severing, because the only thing that can severing is your Bear Magic, but even if they cancel it, you've still played it, so then the Melfi trigger will still work on resolution. The only answer to Melfi is a hard cancel like Fairy Spell or Otherworld Dreams, or a Keys' Call. Because Keys' Call can just cancel the automatic ability itself.
Well, I mean, Aaron is 100% in the finals, so we've got OTG finalists. Hey, come here, buddy. Aaron.
Aaron Miles.
Aaron Miles. Come here, buddy.
Alright, we got our first finalist here, Aaron Miles, who's either going to be playing his brother Ryan,
You gotta bend down there.
or
Yeah.
Joseph.
No, he's just
Joseph Ray.
Everyone can only see.
So he's either going to be playing the exact same match that he just played, where he's going to be on get to choose player draw
Good job, buddy.
against Joseph Ray's Wind Darkness Fair list, or he's going to be playing against Ryan in a mirror match, where Ryan's going to be able to choose to be on the player draw.
Yeah.
So either one's going to be pretty.
Do we have a
pretty
third mic?
Interesting.
Oh, you could probably just pick up mine.
Either way, Aaron's going to be on
No,
3 stream
nothing.
matches in a row.
Huh?
You're going to be yeah.
How'd you feel about that game?
Game 2, he Otherworld severing my double Lumia, and it was kind of greedy to try and play the Lumia off of it. I could have just waited until next turn to play it, and that probably would have been fine. But I got kind of greedy, and I think that's fine. And then game 3, I fucking top decked Dawn of the Earth the turn he was going to flip. So he had turn 1 planting me is Oberon, or not his Oberon, his
Fair, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, he doesn't have any ramp, or he would have played that first. So then when I dawn his flip, the game's just over. He like sacked himself down. Obviously, you guys saw the game, but like sacking the Spirit Stones was correct. If he didn't win that counter war, he kind of lost, and I was very fortunate to like top deck Melfi on top of that. To
do you think
blank it
using
out.
the fair counters was correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not siding in fog. I only sided in one fog. Siding in fog against that deck is like a little awkward, because they can really beat you down without having to pump the counters in.
Yeah, yeah.
So like it was just kind of the fog on top of the Dawn of the Earth. Was just very fortunate for me. But I do think pumping in the fair counters was correct there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that if he lost that counter war.
Yes, because
but I think if he would have sacked the stones into the severing that he needed, I think he would have won the game there.
No, he did.
He didn't draw a severing.
Yeah, I'm saying so if he would have got.
Yeah, if he got the severing, he probably won.
He won.
Yeah.
I was pretty
sure.
I thought it was safe because he could just keep hitting you for 10 every turn. You didn't have a board. You didn't have any presence, and you couldn't just kill the fair
next
ever.
turn, if he does it, then like I just do it again.
Right.
I guess he's got the counters for the Melfi. But like that's probably not something that really comes into your thought process a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I need to save these for a Melfi, so let me not
That's
try
what
and
I'm
win
thinking.
the game
Yeah, and he also protects against the Lumia flip into him because he just can bump himself. So
well,
there's
the
like
Lumia flip wouldn't matter because he was a 10-12.
oh, that's fair. Yeah. Because Flying Cloud.
Did he pay? Was he at like 12 HP?
He was at I think 1800 going into my last turn.
Okay.
No, he was at 12.
We
going
had
into my
no
last
idea.
Okay, so yeah, we had no idea how much
Yeah.
he paid, but we got it right. He was
got
at
it right,
12.
yeah. I
On
thought
the
he was
first-
playing
on
a
the first final battle. He paid enough so that I couldn't like
Rapid Growth, right?
Yeah, Rapid Growth.
Yeah.
outfit.
So I
which
thought
put him
so.
pretty- yeah,
And the
like-
second one we said he didn't pay enough to Rapid Growth. He just did the base mount.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. We just guessed correctly. Sweet.
It was kind of so playing against Black Fair is a little awkward. You don't actually need Fair's Command to win the game just because they pay so much life with their final battles, and generally you should win those counter wars that like you can actually just kind of poke them in for the win. Like game 2, he paid 29 or 3,800 life on his first final battle, which was absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have been able to like save my Shao Wujing with.
Well, yeah, you see 3 Rapid Growths, so you just play around it. Yeah.
And like I could have, I was actually getting really worried in that last game because it took me so long to hit my redstone. Because I feel like if I could flip Lumia at any point, I would have just won that game hands down. But I mean, I only played the 1-up stone, so obviously I'm not gonna like count on seeing it. But I think it was like a really good game. I definitely got lucky there. But I definitely think Bremont played that correctly.
Okay.
Aaron Miles, everybody,
Yeah.
squeezing out wins in game 3. When you get Nameless Misted into a Severin Resonator hand. I just get memed on
Congrats,
streams all the time. It's not even fair.
All right. Hey guys, we're gonna try to talk to the chat now.
They haven't really been saying much. I've been like addressing most of it.
No.
That was a very bad played game. I don't know. I don't think Brandon's thought process at all was
Also,
bad.
We have
I don't think it was an
150
incorrect
viewers
choice.
right now. It's 151 now. So thank you guys so much. We actually have more viewers today than we had day 1.
Do we?
Yeah, we're at 154 now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's because I'm on stream. Everybody wants to see my face and hear my voice.
You know it,
That's
Driz.
not true. My voice is gross.
All right, guys, we have information from the ARG in Richmond. Obviously, because it's the same weekend, it had kind of depressed turnout, but it had 19 people. 5 Lumias, 3 Fairs, 3 Tree, 2 IU, 2 Kirik, and then 1 each of Mars, Mikage 0, and Kaguya 4.
Wait, this is from the ARG?
Yeah.
Wait, let me see.
And
2 IU. Okay.
yes,
that's
2
what
IU. Yes, it's 5 Lumia, 3 Tree, 3 Fair, 2 Kirik, 2 IU. Mars, Mikage 0, and Kaguya each had 1. But as I said, that's somewhat depressed turnout just because of this Atlanta. It probably would have been closer to 35 to 40 if this Grand Prix hadn't existed. Most of the East Coast events are at least 40 people. So.
2 IU.
I mean, people can't find IU. That's the main problem. It's not so much that the people don't want to.
Busu, yeah, there was 1 IU in top 8, and it was me, and I lost in top 8. But I was the only IU that was... I think Kathy was kind of close. I think she finished like top 24. But I was the only one that was top 8. Bad day.
Love you too, Kyle. Jaime, like I understand that win's an issue, and like even the CEO, Shishida-san said that. Well, he made a joke about force a win, etc. So the company recognizes that it is an issue. I'm not that worried about it in the future. I think that they're going to address it I think that they understand that, you know, wind shouldn't be this strong. But it happens sometimes. You know, sometimes R&D just misses something and it just, you know, causes.
Samo, it was about 100 players for this event. It wasn't really big. It's actually very low turnout for the first GP of the season.
Yeah, but it's only low because so we're playing in the same venue as a Dragon Ball Super Regional, which has a huge overlap of players, and we also had the ARG Richmond on the same weekend, which had 19 players. So, I mean, if those two things hadn't happened, I think
19 players.
Yeah, there's 19 players in Richmond. So because the District Grand Prix taking a lot of their players. So honestly, I think that we would have been close to 200 if we hadn't had those two things happen.
Why didn't I go to Richmond? That would have been a free Worlds invite.
You could have.
I could have gone to Richmond, boys.
Yeah. But
Driz, can you come let us in your car to dump bags? No, I cannot. You can come get the keys to the car. Which I
please no Prisha. The Prisha was win too, but please no Prisha. Reimu, Ryan Miles is still playing Joseph. Oh, okay. Joseph Ray just beat Ryan Miles in top 4, meaning that the Everybody Loves Reimu t-shirt is not going to happen.
Wait, Ryan just lost?
Yeah, unfortunately. So we're going to end up having a
Outer World versus OTG final.
Well, we're going to have the exact same match in finals we just did in semifinals, so we'll see if it ends up being the same thing.
His top his playing for third.
Because he has the invite, so it doesn't matter.
He's Brandon Bremo doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He gets guaranteed, he's just leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to play top 4.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't want to play for the bronze.
He just wants to go.
Oh, that's fair.
I gotta fix the script.
All right, so we're gonna have a finals of Aaron Miles from On Tilt Gaming choosing to be on the player draw with Lumia Command against Joseph Ray from Team Outer World. With Wind, Darkness, Fair, and the winner will get a paid invite to Worlds, as well as the Gold Keurig, which, if you guys have not seen it, looks like this.
Is that the Gold Keurig?
Yeah, that's the Gold Keurig. There's the gold one. And here's the silver one that the loser of the finals match will get. They're really cool. Here's the backside.
Ryan's gonna commentate for his brother's match, so we're gonna have to hop off.
That's so rude.
I'm sorry, Driz.
Why can't Steph hop off?
Because I'm dedicated commentator.
Unfortunate. You can't let On Tilt commentate for On Tilt.
I'm former On Tilt.
That's not the same thing. You were once in the club.
I was once in the club. I built this deck with Ryan.
If anybody wants to buy an IU, you let me know. This is Aaron Miles IU. I'm selling it on eBay, $10.
Oh my gosh, Driz, get off the camera. We'll have the names updated soon on the commentating. Stephanie, what is the reason for all the other cards? Well, okay, you can first of all you can play them in limited right now, and then once the meta gets kind of more settled with additional sets. Yeah, of course, Ryan.
You're gonna sit on the computer?
No, I'm gonna have Ryan sit here. I was just reading it. But once we get more sets in and the meta kind of settles down, obviously, as I said, the companies kind of recognize that win's an issue. So it's, you know, right now, yeah, you may have to play win, but that's not going to be like a lifetime thing, you know. It's just like look forward to the next set in March 9th. We should hopefully be getting spoilers soon because it's about 6 weeks from now.
29th.
29th is when spoilers start.
Of January. So very, very soon. Why did they not have acrylics?
Jeremy did not play at this Grand Prix. He, thankfully for us, dedicated his entire time to helping the stream out.
So this season,
producing the stream.
Oh, what? Yeah. So this season, I'm not playing at all. I am 100% on stream production. So from what it stands for right now, I'm going to be doing this event, Richardson. I have to miss Minneapolis, which sucks, Denver, Providence, and Collinsville, and I will be bringing the streams for all of those events. Aaron's on this side. Yeah. He's been there the whole time. So 0, 0. Save. So when Ryan comes back, I'm going to teach him how to use the stream, guys, and he'll be commentating over his brother for the finals to see if his brother can get on the first GP a paid invite back to Worlds. So keep in mind, though, that Ryan might freak out if his brother wins and go scream and tackle him, because he does that a lot.
Oh,
so.
Believe me. It'd be the third time that it's happened. Ryan did it at Worlds in 2016 when Aaron won Worlds, and then he did it again at Masters this last year.
Julian Thornton, I will most likely not be coming to Canada for any of the Canada events. I apologize for that. Let's see.
Yes, the interview with Shishida-san was yesterday.
The interview with AG was yesterday. He's now in Richmond, Virginia for the GP there. So I'll be right back. I'm going to make sure everything's all set up, and we'll bring you guys finals here in a little bit. So keep being awesome, people. 1 second. I'm going to push this. And then
Wait.
Kind of like, okay.
Sorry, guys. All right, we have Ryan Miles.
I'm Ryan Miles.
Third place finisher.
Oh, boy.
Grand Prix Atlanta.
I didn't get to play very much Forcible in that match, but it was a good
list
match.
of other accomplishments.
I forgot. Oh, okay. He can't wear the hoodie. Got to represent.
All right.
So Outer World versus On Tilt Gaming in the finals here.
Yeah, it's a third mirror match, or not mirror match, but the third exact match in a row.
Yeah.
Between top four.
This is Joe's third Lumia, and I think that Black Fair is pretty favored against the version of Lumia that Toby was running. It doesn't have like rapid growth to save away from like True Blade. And the one thing, everyone told me on Outer World that they were all running one True Blade main and then siding 3, and then I looked at Joe's deck list and he's main decking 2, and that's like that card is single-handedly how you decide who wins between Fair and Lumia. Like whoever just like True Blades the other Sacred Elf and like gets to keep their Sacred Elf and just go off. Like the more True Blades you see, the easier the matchup is.
How effective is Final Battle against your Lumia list? Because that used to be the card that killed Lumia Commander.
Yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. Like it's something that I need to counter, but the fact that they have to pay so much life to like even do it means like even after I like get my board blasted, unless I hit like 2 Lumias with it or something, like I can usually rebuild. Like he Final Battled me in game 2, he hit Sacred Elf, Divine Bird, Melfi, and he had to like overpay his life total because I had a rapid growth engrave, so he knows I can save my Melfi. So then I just like draw 2 cards off the Divine Bird, draw a card for turn, and I'm back to 6 cards in hand, and he's at 2,000 life. So like it hurts, but it's really not the end of the world. Like you can just build back up, just because all of your cards are cantrips except for your mana dorks.
So so Final Battle essentially functions as like a half command against themselves.
Yeah, it's really like that's the card you're going to be fighting the counter war over when it finally does come down. But because they can't like Final Battle you too early, because like your board doesn't get scary enough to Final Battle till like you've drawn a lot of cards, right? It's like by the time you have a Lumia on board. If you have a Lumia on board, that means you're 3 cards ahead of them, so it's incredibly likely you'll win the Otherworld Severing Dreams like battle. But when I played against Joe, in game 1 I didn't hit a Lightstone, so I couldn't cast my Dawn of the Earth when he flipped, and I couldn't cast my Lumia like after he flipped, and I couldn't get any cards in hand. I had like 7 cards in hand. It was like Fair's Command, Mosasaurus, Lumia, Dawn of Earth, like Sacred Elf that I drew at the end of turn off of a Divine Bird Flicker. So I have 7 cards in hand and then like 3 open mana, and he's just killing me, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. And then game 2 he goes turn 1 Nameless Mist, like turn 2. No, it's like turn 1 Spirit Caller, turn 2 Nameless. I don't remember. Anyway, there were 2 Nameless Mists involved. He looked at my hand. I have no Otherworld Dreams, no Severing Winds. And then he goes Final Battle my like Divine Bird Melfi board, and like alright, draw more cards. I draw double Lumia off of that, so I go cast Lumia. He's like Otherworld Dreams. I'm like okay. I go cast second Lumia. He's like Severing Winds. I'm like okay. Cast Energize to cast third Lumia. He's like oh Otherworld Dreams. So he got Nameless Mist, Final Battle, Otherworld Dreams, Severing Winds, Otherworld Dreams, and I had 0 counter spells. And I went like 15 cards into my deck because I flickered Bird a few times. So I'm like I'm never winning that game. So oh boy.
That's the other. Okay, so the other thing regarding Nameless Mist, now that you mentioned that seems like it would be pretty rough against you, considering your deck only runs 2 copies of Fair's Command as your main win con.
Yeah. So it can be annoying. Usually they can't afford to Nameless Mist Fair's Command. Like you have to go for the counter spells. Nameless Mist like gives them extra copies of counter spells to be like. Is like the main purpose of it, and it really like the perfect information helps them figure out what it is that they need to counter, so they can like get the cards that they want to resolve. And in general, like Fair is just like a very scary card to like try and deal with. Like you're really on a clock playing Lumia against Fair, so when you have to be when you know that your opponent knows your entire hand and like they're gonna try and bait counters out of you just to like play their more important cards, like you're on a really tight clock to make sure that you're countering the right things and also not just dying out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So Nameless Mist is definitely like terrifying, but I still think like overall the blue version's a bit scarier just because they just have more lethal pressure. And
they have that OTK pressure too, though. I can't imagine that affects you too much with the amount of blockers you get on board.
It kinda does. So like it's the same thing, right? So they have like Nameless Mist in Final Battle to get rid of my counters, but the blue version can like do stuff on my turn that I want to counter, and then when I have less mana they can like try to like Dawn of the Earth a guy, and it's like okay I have to counter the Dawn, like I already didn't block but now I have to counter the Dawn of the Earth or else I'm like taking 20 damage. And the blue version just pushes more damage, and the damage is what really wins you the game. Like I'm gonna win the counter board even against the black version, but the fact that the blue version has more damage available is kind of a bit scarier.
So did you you knew about the black version before you came into the tournament, though, right?
Like barely. I didn't think anyone was taking it seriously.
Oh, so
like,
you-
I had heard rumors that the Black Fair was playing like Faith in Darkness and Jeanne d'Arc. So
Oh,
you could
really?
like turn 1 Spirit Caller, turn 2 Faith in Darkness, get a Jeanne d'Arc, and now you have a 9/7 Indestructible on turn 2. Like that's pretty good. And I was like, that doesn't sound good. And then I had heard that there was like you just play normal Fair like mono green, but with just Nameless Mist in Final Battle. And I'm like, that probably beats other Fair decks, but it sounds like it loses to like Tree and Ayu and all that stuff. So I didn't take that very seriously. And then Outer World was playing the Planting Beans Fair thing, which I think, like, I really disagree with that. And the reason for that is, like, you're already playing, like, the Nameless Mist, right? You want to 1-for-1 your opponent down, and, like, you're really just trying to get information out of them, make them have no cards, so that, and you also have no cards, and then you're just, like, doing normal Fair things. But when you play Planting Beans, like, it's just a -1. Like, if you get to get it back, then it refills itself, but
yeah, paying 3 will for it is rough too, though.
yeah.
And against Tree, it gets eaten by Resolute. So
Yeah, like it's bad against Tree. Against the blue-white, like that makes your deck super, super weak to Dawn of the Earth. Like you're already kind of weak to it because you don't want to like flip and then get Dawn, but you're more token heavy because you play the Commanders and the Oberons, and like those can get Dawn of the Earth. And then when you try and tap all your guys to bring back your Fair, that can get Dawn of the Earth. So like Planting Beans just doesn't seem super good. It's definitely like that's going to make up the damage that the black version lacks. So like where the blue version has like Dawn of the Earth, optional possession, whatever, the black version has like get back, like the Planting Beans version, I guess, has get back Fair, like have an extra 1,000 damage on board. But like it just makes you weaker to Dawn of the Earth, which makes you weaker to blue Fair, which is the matchup you're already spiking for. So I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. You guys ran 2 Dawn, right? Or is it 3?
No, I mained 1, sided
Okay.
2. I don't think AJ actually mained any. I think he mained Frigg instead of Dawn. It was our
Oh,
41st
okay.
card.
Yeah.
He did main Dawn? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he mained Dawn of the Earth
So
then.
it's just 1 Dawn?
Yeah, Andre mained 1 Frigg instead of 1 Dawn on the Earth. I think it was
Dawn's an interesting card because you don't really want to use it for the. Well, I mean, the barrier helps, I guess, when they're trying to go after a Lumia, but
Yeah,
that's not really
sometimes.
that common in Fair.
Yeah.
Because they mostly run True Blade, so that's better for your Mana Dorks and your Tama. Well, not Tama, but your Mana Dorks,
Yeah.
mainly blockers.
Brandon. No, I don't think so. He's
Well, it's not Bremont because it's spelled differently.
Oh, it might be Brandon Rogers. He's usually Arc Xeno. I don't know.
Maybe it's like on his like throwaway account that he uses to stock.
I mean, maybe on like a YouTube. I don't know if you put like your normal account on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot. This is YouTube.
But yeah, Dawn of the Earth. The reason that like we both last minute put in Dawn of the Earth is because we realized that we like physically brought in our car with us like 6 Lumia players, and we're like, man, we really want to have Dawn of the Earth to like
Oh,
stop.
for the
like,
mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just seemed like there wasn't like you can just walk around before the tournament, right? Like nobody was playing IU, and like Dawn of the Earth's useless against IU, but like when there's no IU, that means there's more Fair and Tree. And if there's
Yeah.
more Fair and Tree, that means that you want Dawn of the Earth because it's good against both matchups.
And there it did end up being, I think, 14 Lumia and 17 Tree, so it ended up being pretty.
Was it
Pretty
really?
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the ruler breakdown? You have
It's
hand?
31 Fair, 31 Fair, 17 Tree, 14 Lumia, 11 IU, and then it was 7. Something else, and I can't remember after the 7. But,
Interesting, yeah.
7 Fox.
7
and then
Fox,
then
yeah.
everything else was like 3 or less.
I think Tyler Wilson's whole like crew was on Fox. If I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler is a very big proponent of Fox. He thought it was
Yeah.
really good in this
I
meta.
still I wish I had seen his list. I know he topped the ARG in Orlando with it. I think he got 5th place.
Yeah.
I think he lost to IU in
Yeah.
top 8, and that's understandable. I don't think Fox is
Yeah.
a very good IU matchup.
But he said he felt he had an amazing Tree matchup in general. Unless
Yeah.
And the only reason, so he lost on to Tree yesterday on stream. But
Oh, he lost
was-
that match? I thought he won.
No, he lost that match. But he
Oh.
had he got Dark Alice Neo barriered. And they
Yeah.
just kept sticking both pieces.
Yep.
Like every time he'd remove a piece, they'd stick another piece, and he just never got to ever use Fox. So.
I was talking with someone who was like a buddy of the Tree guy, and he's like, yeah, we were playing Tree, and we didn't really know what to do, but we were looking at Faith in the Darkness, and we're like, man, we really just want to play like Faith in the Darkness, Joan d'Arc, and then Dark Alice, Neo Bear, and these are all just good cards. Let's just put them all in a Tree deck. AJ, are you starting soon? Are you starting soon, do you think? Are you starting soon?
Yes.
Okay.
Just plugging in my phone and then we're starting.
Not allowed.
And then game 3, he didn't hit a Killing Stone until like turn 5 or 6.
Didn't hit a Killing Stone. Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Good old Fox.
He hit with a Fox Spirit for 3, and the guy hits 2 Dark Alices on the thing. He's like, aha! And then he doesn't hit a Killing Stone. He just loses. Yeah.
Yep. That'll do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the nature of Fox. You hit a
Yep.
throw-in Killing Stone, you're one of the best decks in the game. You don't hit a throw-in Killing Stone, and
It's like even worse now that there's no Griffin, because every turn just gets dicier and dicier. Like, how many times in a row are you actually going to be able to do Fox stuff?
his opponent also ran Barrier Seal. That's how he lost game 1.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he got all his Killing Stones and his Demonic Dead Barrier Sealed, and then
Got a question over here. Do you think that 0 Death in Texas would be good in the meta? Death in Texas. So I probably wouldn't play 0 as my ruler. There's no so hilariously, 0 does not get rid of Pierce.
yeah.
I played against 0, I had to read the card, I'm like, oh, I can just Fair's command you. This is going to be
Yeah.
great. I'm not worried about this card at all.
Bears command IU, like
Yeah.
they all get pierced, so it's like,
Yep.
yeah.
Like, it stops IU's flying, but it's still like,
It stops the
it stops the
imperishable.
Pierce too, right?
Just
And the
No, it
imperishable.
doesn't stop the pierce.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just said that it doesn't stop Pierce, so it's like.
But it does stop the imperishable. So if you can I guess if you're running like J Ruler removal, if you're running like Erasure, which is so bad in every other matchup, then I
Yeah,
guess it
no,
could be
it's
okay.
not
'Cause you
good.
could be like remove on draw step and then Erasure and then IU.
If you
probably
get to 4
can't
mana
cancel
against
it.
IU, I think you're having a fine time.
Yeah, that's fair too.
But yeah, 0.
Zero's not the way to go.
Part of the reason you ran 0 in the first place was because of 0's Magic Light, and
Yeah.
like anyone that's killing you with resonators right now is Fair. There's no
Yeah.
other deck that's killing you with doesn't. Like, are you gonna play 0's Magic Light against Tree? Because they're just gonna get back. If you play it against Fair, they're gonna give a barrier. If you play it against Lumia, they've got 6 other guys swinging at you with 1,000 attack apiece, and nothing in IU is swinging at you besides IU. Maybe like a turn 2 Sylvia, in which case, ooh, you got him. But yeah, I don't think 0. But
It also stopped the swiftness, which is not relevant now either.
Yeah.
So
the real like Death and Taxes deck right now is Tree. It's like
Yeah,
green, white,
pretty
black.
much.
Like
Yeah.
stop you from doing shit or
and
stuff.
being able to like just.
Got that.
The Kill Lapis Nameless Mist final battle line, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just incredible. Being able to
Yes.
just swing into Fair to get the remaining damage and not have to go under 4 or whatever. But because, I mean, granted, people didn't really know about the Ambition of Lapis
Yeah.
line on Tree, but did you hear about Victor Harris's Burning Tree list?
I did. David Hartley lost to it, and David was playing our deck, and I'm like, David, how did you lose to that? Apparently, game 1 he didn't realize it was Burning Tree, and he like put 2 True Blades on the bottom in his mulligan, and then Victor goes David plays a Lumia at some point, and Victor just goes Conjure Time Bomb, and he has nothing to stop it. It's like, oh no.
Do you think the matchup is good or bad for Lumia in general? If you knew what you were.
I think it's very good for us because again we can take a decent amount of damage early on, and then we just focus on drawing a lot of cards, and then eventually he's thrown 6 burn spells at our face. We're 1,000 life, but then we have 10 cards, and he doesn't get to resolve another card for the rest of the game, and then we just go okay, kill you. As long as you know that it's Burning Tree, and you mulligan correctly, I would assume. All right, so we're about to get in here. Shuffle cuts are going up.
Yeah.
And we got Aaron Miles from Team Ontel Gaming versus Joe Ray from Team Outer World.
Alright, and we got
Green, white,
90-minute
blue
clock
Lumia
going.
Yeah, you have 90 minutes.
versus green, black, fair.
Though if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess this matchup takes 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, it's usually over on turn 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Any more than that, and fair is losing. So it's really just a matter of AJ finding his win condition. Going to mulligans here. Looks like a final battle. Did he just put a True Blade on the bottom? Spicy Man.
Melfi?
Keeping Oberon. Okay, no. He's keeping it. Okay. I was about to say. Severing
he had
True
3
Blade.
Melfi in the opening. He bottom decks one of the Melfis.
Mulling a final battle.
Just keeping 2 Melfis in Lumia and Intro.
He put a final battle on the bottom.
Is that a Bear Magic? What's that 5th card?
He was telling me when he played against Toby, he actually didn't cast Final Battle all 3 games, and there really is a bunch of power in Lumia. When I played against Blackfair in Swiss, Final Battle was a liability. Even if they did get to resolve, the life total was so low, I would flip my ruler and kill them. So
Yeah.
obviously, Joe, having played the matchup 4 times now, understands that Final Battle is really not that important here. Unfortunately, his turn 1 green has Nameless Mist in hand, can't cast it, but Age's gonna get to draw a card with this Divine Bird.
What do you think about people, obviously this isn't as relevant in Swiss, but what do you think about people taking the draw against Lumia to prevent you from having the Energize for the fire?
I don't think that it's important to steal the Energize from Lumia at all. Like, sometimes I'll go second with Lumia against Black Fair. Wow, AJ just plays a vanilla Lumia. And says, do you have Otherworld Dreams? I'm not a big fan of this, because what if he has True Blade? Oh, I guess, okay, so if AJ has a Severing Winds, right, and Joe does have True Blade, he has to go True Blade at the same time, so then Severing Winds will just beat it out, right? And it looks like AJ's hand does have the Severing Winds. So he is really just saying, do it. Just go for it, man. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's not like the Space-Time Val 3 days.
Yeah. And if Joe does have the True Blade here, right, he wants to use his Energize to kill the Lumia before he puts the 3 cards under. So it would be in response to the Enter ability. Exactly. And that's where Joe's trying to get cheeky here. And Joe does have a Severing Winds to back up the True Blade, so he's going to go for it. Yep, and that's in response to the Enter ability. AJ says sure.
Gonna do it again, yeah.
The question is, does AJ have double Severing Winds? Because if he does, this is disgusting. Oh, AJ just severs. Joe does not go for the Severing Winds there. Joe thinking that he wants to hang on to the Sever for a later turn.
I think the correct play was
very interesting line there.
Yeah. You can't have Lumia resolve against you. I mean,
oh
Lumia
man,
is like one of the most broken cards.
He misses Black again. This is going very badly for Joe.
Yeah.
He does have Planting Beans, it looks like. Probably not going to waste the mana right now. Is that double Commander I saw as well? I'm not too familiar with the art here.
There's Planting Beans, there's Commander, there's a Nameless Mist.
Yeah, he might just throw it on the beans here.
It is double Commander, you're right.
Okay, that is Commander of the crowd. He's got 2 Commander and Nameless Mist. Yeah, he's thinking about beans. Besides, he doesn't want to represent less mana. Yeah, I don't know. I think you beans there.
I think so too. With only need to represent 1 mana for Otherworld Dreams.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't beans. I'm not sure why he didn't sever. There's so many questions in my mind right now, but
yeah.
Joe's clearly got a game plan here.
Yeah.
AJ gonna go ahead and flicker the bird. Obviously valuing the cards under Lumia.
Yeah, he drew Dreams.
But he did want to push damage.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah. And if your opponent's not doing anything.
Did he land with Lumia?
What was that?
Did he land with Lumia? He attacked with Lumia?
I forgot about
yeah,
life.
so he's
yeah, I apologize. I forgot that I'm on life
the
totals.
bird and the Lumia.
I can't even find the mouse. It's he's taking 6, right?
He's taking 5.
Didn't he attack with a bird on turn 2?
Oh, you're right. He did attack.
So it'd be 34.
Yeah.
I think I did too many. And then save.
So Joe finally gets his black.
Hey, we did it.
But he just plays a Commander.
Yeah, Commander the card comes down. And AJ can feel free to let that resolve. So I actually made this mistake against Joe. When they play Commander the card, that's not a card you care about countering.
Yeah.
Like you care more about the final battle and stuff. So the Commander coming down, even if AJ does have the counter spell, you just let that go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit of an annoyance if, like, he has a Lumia here, right? He might want to attack, and the fact that Commander has 7 toughness is like kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But like AJ has a billion cards right now, he could have a rapid growth, so he almost wants to bait that from happening. Gonna untap Stone for the Nameless Mist here. And this is gonna be countered. AJ wants to use the cards under Lumia so we can start flickering Lumia so we can draw more cards. Obviously, since Joe didn't do anything on the last turn, that's why AJ flickered the bird, because he's like, man, I got all these counter spells under this Lumia, but I can't do anything. So that gets countered.
Yeah, you can't be too afraid of playing into cancels, though. You just have to eat them out.
Yep. So casting and Planting Beans off of Otherworld Dreams, gonna get the fair. Yeah. Maybe he goes for True Blade. I doubt it. Rapid Growth. He's also looking at Rapid Growth.
That's interesting.
Yep. Because of the main board Dawn of the Earth, it can be pretty tricky to get that fair out there. It's very difficult to get enough guys on board sometimes, but there's only one main Dawn of the Earth. So.
Also, a Spirit Caller Elf would automatically put fair online at this point.
Yeah,
so.
But he doesn't have one, so he's gonna put the fair in grave just to get it, right?
Just gives him some draws. Yeah.
Maybe think
about
some
draws, and then if he flips and doesn't get dawned, there's multiple outs to this fair.
AJ's floating 2 mana right now. If he has the Dawn, I wonder if he just cast it. I sincerely doubt it, because you do want to save it for the fair flip.
So somebody just asked you why we're not running Gnarl in your whole list for Lumia's Judgment?
Because we don't really flip our ruler. We really, the whole value of Lumia is using the end of turn triggers. We don't, and like, we need to get to a lot of stones so that we can cast Fair's Command. So we don't usually we don't usually want to flip our ruler and then start calling stones.
The blasting noise is more there as an insurance, not as
Yeah,
a...
because if we flip our ruler, the only way we can flicker is by attacking, and we don't want to attack, we want to call stones. So
Exactly. Aaron's in a really good position here.
yeah. Interesting, he floated 2 mana. Oh no, he cast a Melfi, I missed that. So
If he
I
has
wonder how
another
many
Melfi,
fairies
he
come in.
actually has command math next turn. He's got, yeah, if he got another Melfi, he'd have a command next turn, yeah.
The question here is, does AJ have rapid growth?
Obviously, Fair's going to flip next turn.
Yeah. So AJ wants to represent Don here just to be sneaky if anything.
Yeah.
Is that a Shawujing? That's a Mosasaurus. Hey, Jay,
Oh, that
that's
card's-
disgusting.
Yeah. This card, in testing that.
That's a
I've
one-up,
done with-
too.
Yeah. The testing I've done with Mosasaurus, the card's just broken against Fair when you're trying to tempo into something specific in a combo deck. The problem is Fair rests all their stones a lot, and especially on the flip turn. And if you can, especially if you can don them into a Mosasaurus, it's just gross.
Oh yeah, no, they get absolutely blasted by that.
Yeah.
So looking at the options that Joe has now, right? All 3 of those stones aren't untapping. AJ's going to trade off a bird into one of the tokens here, so that he has to tap Command of the Crowd to be able to untap stones next turn. And AJ might even go for a True Blade off of the Melfi Flicker to definitely prevent Joe from being able to recover stones.
Yeah.
Because even though the stones do not recover in the recover step, they can be recovered by Fair's ability. And AJ's going to hold open the mana here, definitely represent Otherworld Dream, something like that. Joe has a Planting Beans, multiple Severing Winds.
And access to 2 will. You can call a stone and use the
Yeah.
Fair's abilities, you said.
Well, he's definitely calling a stone, right?
yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully.
hopefully. Maybe he's thinking he wants to untap a stone first, play something, and then call a stone. I don't know what the
Yeah.
benefit would be. Maybe just biding his time to see to not make a decision.
You got another black source, but
Yeah.
it's all green cards in here.
His hand's not looking very good.
Yeah, unfortunately.
AJ's at 5 mana going on 6 next turn. Still outside of command reach, but the Mosasaurus is going to be able to attack.
Despite his hand, I think the play is just pass turn and
Yeah.
represent.
I mean, AJ's got like 6 cards in hand. He
Otherworld
doesn't.
Dreams, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't necessarily need to draw any more cards off this Lumia. It's gonna True Blade. I'm guessing this is end of turn.
Yeah.
And here Joe is thinking about untapping a stone, right? Because he can tap Commander, untap a stone, and then
Exactly.
3 stones don't tap from the Mosasaurus. But if he does that, his Commander of the Crowd is now vulnerable to get attacked by the Mosasaurus.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
just
so
limits his options quite a bit in terms of
Yeah.
what he can rest down for his Fair
Yep.
and or being able to get it out at all. Because now if he plays his second commander, he only has 4 else. He can't even
Yep.
bring out the Fair.
So, if AJ has Dawn of the Earth, he has lethal. Yeah, he can keep those tapped forever.
Yeah, he can just keep flickering the Mosasaurus, yeah.
So what is AJ trying to do here? AJ feels in a really good spot, right? Right now he's just thinking about, okay, how do I win the game, and in what ways do I not lose lane? Because Joe has been sitting on 6 cards in hand for a long time, but AJ already made a play where there could have been a Severing Wind, so he's probably not expecting any more than 1 Severing Wind, just from the information he's gleaned from a prior turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So now
Especially
he's
because he didn't get the original True Blade severed.
Yeah. Looks like that's going face, and that's
yeah.
that's a reasonable
I
play
think
as well.
that's smart, yeah.
We know that
Next turn he has lethal if he can tap Joe down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't play Melfi, so there's absolutely no way that Joe's flipping next turn based on what's on board.
Yeah.
AJ's gonna be able to tap down the 2 stones again, force another stone call. He's a 15-10.
Yeah, it's 15-10, yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. I forgot I'm the life total guy. Why am I sitting over here? I shouldn't be the life total guy. I'm a boosted monkey. Alright, that's gonna be a Lumia. And I mean, Joe doesn't have it, but even if he did, would he counter that?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, but I mean
Yeah, that's true.
oh
I mean,
god.
Lumia is
We're getting
the
some
only
good cards.
card you don't really want to resolve
Yep.
against. I mean, I guess Fair's command, but Lumia is by far the engine of that deck.
AJ's gonna get in for 4, and that's really just for damage. That's
It's just Mosasaurus kills next turn.
Yeah, I doubt he's flickering the Lumia here. He's just gonna leave it tapped. It's only got 1 card under it anyway, but he's gonna flicker the Mosasaurus, keep the stones tapped, and then yeah, and you get to pick a 3rd stone. But if it's not rested, it doesn't do
It doesn't
anything.
really make a difference. Yeah.
It's just a matter if Joe wants to play an instant here.
Does Aaron have a blasting waves?
Does he have a blasting waves? No, it doesn't. I don't believe so. He's got 2 untapped gusting. This guy's an untapped Deepwood. Is it aggro, control, or mid-range format? I would argue mid-range to control. It's like a slower mid-range format. All right, so Joe, did he draw Final Battle? I don't see a Final Battle. Final Battle is like the only feasible way. Okay, never mind. He's got 1500 life. Final Battle doesn't do anything. Don't listen to me. But AJ has Melfi, so like.
Even with 3 stones, he can't pay enough.
So the thing is, he has lethal, right? He attacks for 15. Joe blocks. AJ flips his ruler, attacks for 10, attacks for 4 with a Lumia, attacks for 4 with the other Lumia.
Oh yeah, he's the Melfi. It doesn't matter if he has a blessing wave.
Yeah. AJ doesn't even have to play a single card to win the game next turn, and Joe is only on 2 stones.
Joe's only real play is to call stone and play another commander, and that's not that great.
He's gonna call 3 mana. He has a commander in the crowd, so maybe he's gonna try and buy some time by playing another commander. But this just makes Mosasaurus even scarier, right? Because
yep.
Joe will be able to use the elf triggers to untap a stone right now, and then again on AJ's turn. But there's still gonna be 3 stones tapped down. There's really nothing. Oh boy. Yeah, he's gonna make the only play he has available to him. But it's, I mean, AJ's got.
You don't represent anything.
AJ's got
if you
6.
play it, then you don't represent anything.
Yeah.
But if you don't play it, then all Aaron has to do is just flip and say, deal with the Lumia.
Yeah, this is a point where I feel like you can see just to not show your opponent any more information. But when you know all the deck lists and you got 90-minute rounds, you play it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to draw, and you're not going to end up with any kind of...
And yeah, I mean, it is a high game of variance. Maybe AJ doesn't have, like double Otherworld Dreams, triple severing or something.
All right, Raymu, please. Everyone in chat, we're all friends.
Solomon Curry, is that Raymu?
Probably.
That's Raymu, yeah. Solomon Curry is Raymu.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you kind of got it.
So control decks traditionally play more of removal. None of the decks right now play much removal. So that's why I'm like, you really are like developing creatures and then protecting your creatures with cancel spells, which is why I'd say it's like a slow mid-range format. But I could see the argument for control. It's difficult for me to say that any format where the game ends on turn 3 or 4 is a control format.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think the format's a little bit slow to a degree, but obviously, whenever you're playing against Lumia Command, there's always a clock.
Yeah.
Also, thank you guys. We have 180 viewers. It's
all
crazy.
right.
Yeah.
It's all because of me.
Triz, go somewhere.
Yeah, just get out of here.
Yes. Like. I mean, like, what do you do? You untap a stone here with your 1/1s, so that they can't get True Bladed when you try and block. Like, Joe is just like, thank God I have 2 blockers now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't die. Untaps a black. Does he bother casting Nameless Mist here? What does it do?
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, I guess Fair's command just auto wins, but it doesn't make a difference because Aaron's pretty much got game anyway.
Yeah. Joe's looking like, wait a minute, I need 4 blockers, not 1 mana. I mean, it really is just like a hopeless cause. Joe's just thinking through every possible option here of how he can have a chance in this game.
Yeah.
And this sets up Fair's command. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8 mana AJ's gonna have. So he'll
Fair's
have
command with the dreams back up
with a
and
counter.
like probably 30 severings.
Joe's gonna take a peek at the graveyard. I'm surprised AJ didn't go for the True Blading one of the dorks before untap, but the chat's like 50% Ramu. AJ's going for it. He's gonna leave open a blue mana, cast the Fair's command, lock up the game. Otherworld Dreams, sir, do you have it? Do you have it? No, of course Joe does not have it, so. If he did have the Otherworld Dreams, he's got the Severings to back it up, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was pretty crucial not severing that first Lumia.
Yeah, no, he definitely had the right idea with that, but just couldn't find anything to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be game 1 going over to Aaron Miles, up 1 game in the finals of Grand Prix Atlanta.
And then you go to...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and try and update this display here. Please bear with me as I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, AJ wins game 1.
400 life for Joe.
Oh, 400 left, yeah. Yo, AJ, just play Lumia, attack him. Alright. An extra 0 there. Nice. Anybody have any questions in chat while we're switching between games here, going for sideboard?
We kind of already talked about the sideboard with the semifinals match.
Yeah.
Basically, if they're the exact same list, well, almost the exact same lists.
Almost, yeah. So Joe's got more True Blades. In my opinion, True Blade is the defining factor here. The fact that Fair can energize for green helps a lot. The fact that Lumia doesn't energize for green makes it very difficult to ever get ahead on the Sacred Elf battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they go turn 1 Sacred Elf, you go, I want to play turn 1 Sacred Elf, they True Blade it, you can't do anything, you avoid energize.
Yeah.
If you're first, you go turn 1 Sacred Elf as Lumia, they go energize, kill it, and it's like, you never get to win that battle.
I don't know. I think that.
Yeah,
I think Lumia Command is favored in this matchup.
I'm still on the fence. I really do think it's a 50-50. Having played against it a couple times now, like I dominated it in Swiss, but like then I played against Joe and I got absolutely creamed. It really just depends like how the draw ends up. Yeah, I mean, vanilla Fair hands always have the Fair flip, and vanilla Lumia hands just kind of draw a bunch of cards, but still like take 10 damage a turn until you just die.
So Musicon 14 asks you if you think there are any breakout rogue decks in this meta, such as Unsealed Gil or Keurig.
Yeah, Unsealed Gil was something we were testing a lot against. We heard rumors that Outer World was going to be playing it, so we didn't want to play it too, because that would be kind of BM. But we were like, alright, if they're playing it, we're kind of terrified. And I think that deck is insanely fun. I'm probably going to play it at the next event that I go to. That deck, yeah. So God, it just draws so many cards, and it has...
You have a 2-mana seal.
Yeah, you have a 1-mana seal. You flip your ruler, that thing costs 1 mana, and you can search your deck for it. That's disgusting. This is disgusting. They said they didn't play it because they couldn't beat Fair. They couldn't beat Ayu. Couldn't beat Fair. Can't beat Fair.
We have Ronnie Martin here helping us with the Outer
Yeah, Ronnie
World
Martin telling us
testing.
was good. I love that deck. I like drew hands with it, and I was having a good time. But Keurig... Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so we were looking, he like had the double True Blade, AJ severed it, and we're like, Joe's gonna sever here, and he doesn't do it. We're like, clearly Joe is thinking ahead, wants to win a counter war in the future, isn't gonna fight over this Lumia. I'm like, that doesn't sound right though. So you always want to fight him. Lumia's like the only card in the deck that you absolutely do not want to resolve.
So TCG Scrubs asks, do you think the meta will stay the same until the next set?
No, absolutely. Until the next set? Okay, so I don't know, right? Like Lumia got a lot of ground at this event because everyone disrespected it beyond belief. Like all of Outer World knew that I was playing the deck, but they were like, only Ryan's playing it. The rest of Ontel Game is gonna be playing Fair because they're not idiots. But of course, like I played against everyone, and they're like, all right, Ryan, Lumia's a good deck. We'll play Lumia. So like when like half of the competitive field is like not ready for the other half of the competitive field, it does make it like a little bit different event. Yeah. So when you do like build Fair and you're like, Lumia exists, and you start putting 3 to 4 True Blade in the main deck, that becomes a very significant problem for Lumia. So I think in the future.
I think he still has me.
Oh, okay.
Could they hear us during the game?
Tap down 3 stones again and probably clear out.
Oh yeah, that's why we're being louder. It's
sorry. Yeah. So definitely Lumia gets a lot harder to exist against Fair when Fair like recognizes that Lumia is a deck.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much Lumia we'll see in the future. I assume it will still be some amount, right? People are going to want to play this deck because it's doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
But overall, like once Fair like has the chance to prepare for it, I think Fair is favored overall.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that they would play the Black Fair. I don't know which version would be favored. It really is just if you cast True Blade and flip your ruler, you win. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really doesn't matter what your third color is. Mikage is something of interest. So like it doesn't beat Lumia because of Shackles, right? But like Green Black Fire doesn't play Shackles. So does Mikage beat Fire? I feel like the barrier makes it a huge problem. I wouldn't assume that Mikage is capable of beating Fire consistently, but it does do okay against Lumia because you're able to stop everything from sticking to the board, and you have like 1-mana kill spells and stuff. There's just like too much for Lumia to have to fight over to beat Mikage, but the problem is like you do side like Shackles and Moonbeam Butterfly, so you need then. Oh, sorry, and we're getting into game 2.
Yeah, I was going to say we're about to start game 2. Also, Reimu Yggdrasil did beat Lumia in Swiss, but it was not a standard Yggdrasil list. Obviously, the control list probably loses every time the Lumia come in.
Yeah.
But it was a Burning Tree list. It was pretty relatively old concept, obviously much newer cards. It was piloted by Victor Harris. It was actually really, really cool. We had it on stream yesterday, if you want to watch it. Not the Lumia command match, but the deck itself.
Yeah, Burning Tree. It was interesting. Andre, my top 8 opponent, his winning was against Kentober for it was Tree versus Lumia Command, and it went to game 3, and then it ended up being a draw in time, but I'm pretty sure Andre was going to win that game.
I think so too. I think even Ken recognized that.
Yeah.
Also, TCG City, it's best of 3. It's not best of 5. It's just 90-minute finals. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's forcible policy.
So Joe is going to stand up real quick.
What?
I don't know what's going on here.
Hold on, we just got to break into action. We'll
That's not how I want to do this.
We're going to take a quick break
we're
real
gonna
quick.
take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, so what just happened, just want to let you guys know, shuffles had happened, decks presented, everything else comes back, Aaron resolves mulligans, sends to the bottom of his deck, and Joe has been playing, he's been playing a different card game as well recently, where after that point of the game, you still, like after mulligan, you cut your opponent's deck, and so Reflex went and grabbed Ryan's deck and just, or Aaron's deck and just shuffled it, or did a cut after the mulligans had already happened. So unfortunately, at that point, it creates an irreparable game state, and it counts as a game loss for Joe. So because of that reasoning, Joe gets a game loss, and having already lost game 1, Aaron wins the finals 2-0. So that kind of an anticlimactic way, an unfortunate way to end our first GP, but we'll try to get Aaron over here in a little bit to do an interview, maybe talk about how that game went. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in a bit.
We'll take a quick break.
the audio good? I can't hear anything, so.
You should be able to hear me, yeah?
Oh, yeah, now I
Yeah,
can
there you
hear
go.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
perfect. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kind of an anticlimactic way to win that, but
Yeah,
good job,
I'm
and I'll
not happy
present
about
you
it.
with your prize.
Awesome.
The gold Keurig and all your presentation. I'll get that there. If you want to show it off on stream to everybody.
I have never gotten a prize card that's not gold.
So with
I lied,
this-
I had one acrylic.
So with this win, this puts you as the first U.S. player with 3 GP wins. Is that what I was
Yes,
hearing?
and I think one of the only. I know I have
one second.
5. Oh,
What? Oh, Stephanie needs to be on real quick.
oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm back. So can I keep doing my interview? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep interviewing you then.
All right.
So yeah, we're saying GP wins.
So I'm the first American with 3 GP wins, and I now have 5 major event wins, which I think is more than anybody except maybe Federico Zappini. I'm actually not up to date on how many he has, but it definitely feels good. I'm still not in Alex Blandon's top 3 players, so hopefully this changes.
Maybe
that.
that can put you there. Yeah, for sure. So we've seen On Tilt's Lumia list on stream a lot this weekend. We've seen the
Yeah.
success of it, and you've been on stream all day.
Yeah.
Today. So going into this event, the decision to push Lumia, like where were you in part of that process?
Okay, so Brian, obviously since Masters, has been playing this Lumia deck. He's been trying to convince us of it. We weren't super convinced. When the set dropped, I played IU Control, and I talked about that deck a lot. And then I tried the Green, White, Blue Fayer deck. And then I just kind of found that the Lumia deck was a lot like the Green, White, Blue Fayer deck, except instead of having the option to flip your ruler and kind of win a game off of that, you just drew a lot more cards. And the only thing that you can really lose to is Final Battle, so if you're playing against a deck that's not black, then you're in a very advantageous position because you can go as wide as you want, and nobody can do anything about it. And if you're not playing against a green deck, then you don't have to worry about counter spells, and you can always counter their Final Battle. So the only rough matchup you have is very specifically green-black decks. And we weren't really expecting any of those since Fox, we lost Griffin, Fox isn't in an amazing spot, and even if it is, we have the Dawn of the Earth and that kind of thing. We definitely weren't really expecting Black-Green Fayer. That was one of the things that was a very rough matchup for us because it plays counterspells and Final Battle. But I don't think the Green-White-Blue Fayer deck would have done any better against it. So just having this deck that is immune to most things in the format will win pretty much every counter war and just draws a lot of cards and is very consistent was definitely the right choice for the weekend.
Yeah, obviously, successfully. I mean, first GP of the weekend, and you're back with a paid trip back to Worlds three years in a row. Yeah. Is there anything, having played the deck all weekend, played all the deck today, taken it all the way to winning, is there anything about the list, either main or side, that underperformed for you, overperformed, things that you would change?
So the deck is a little clunky with the utility cards of Rapid Growth, Charlotte's Water Transformation Magic, things like that. True Blade's dead in a lot of matchups, but I still think maining 3 is correct because your worst matchups are the one where it's a good card and things like that. So I don't think I would change anything about the list off the top of my head.
Okay.
I feel like I had everything I needed.
Okay, sounds good. So speaking about what's going on with the meta as it stands right now. So obviously wind is everywhere.
Yeah.
But other than that, what are your thoughts about this menu for sure?
I think it's a pretty good format. Fayer's a little stronger than the rest of pretty much everything else, but I don't think it's an impressive state or anything like that. I'd say things are pretty well balanced. There's not as many rulers that are viable as people might think there are. Fayer definitely keeps a lot of things down, but there's no great red-green aggro deck right now, which I'm pretty happy about.
Okay.
I never enjoy those being in the format. Red-green Fayer is a deck that probably would have destroyed us if we had to play against it, but we were kind of counting on IU aggro to keep that out of the format.
Yeah, right. I mean, the bet paid off, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get... let's see... So, okay. With this, I know that last season you went to quite a few. I mean, you already had a paid invite already last year, but you still went to a lot of different GPs. With having this first one knocked out, having your paid invite taken care of, are we still going to see you appear at a bunch of other GPs? Are you going to keep grinding? Or are you going to go back to judging? Or
I don't play Force of Will for the prize support. I play it because I enjoy it. It's something that I have a lot of fun traveling with my friends playing this card game. You're definitely going to see me at a few more Grand Prix, although now it is nice to have the safety blanket to fall back on of I've already got my paid invite. I don't have to. I can maybe have a little bit more fun with it. I'm not going to bring troll decks or anything. I'm still going to bring what I think is the best deck and has a good chance of winning because I do want to continue a reign of dominance. But You'll definitely see me at like the Canadian events. This might make it so I don't fly out to a West Coast event, but that remains to be seen. I would like to get out to California or Denver or something like that.
Okay. So moving forward, we're getting close to where we think we might see the spoilers for R3 start to drop, moving into kind of, and the company's already talked about how they've recognized that wind is a little bit too strong, whatever. What kind of direction do you think you would want to see maybe come out of this next set, Time Spinning Witch?
So something that I've always been a big fan of is being able to play cards like Lightning Strike and like Callous Blaze, things like that, in a control deck.
Okay.
I've always really liked the idea of damage-based removal in a control deck that you can also go face with. So I would definitely like to see red kind of come out of the woodworks as more of a control-y color. Maybe see some Jund decks pop back up, kind of like the Dawn of Force Will when you had Shahrazad and Abdul. I'd like to go a little bit more back to that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, green's still in there, but like I can't imagine green getting pushed out by anything. And if it does, then I am horrified for whatever pushes green out of the meta.
Yeah, that's true. For sure.
But I would definitely like to see red get a little bit stronger.
Yeah, okay. Now, do you think that you've talked on your channel, OTG Gaming, right?
I think it's OT Gaming.
OT Gaming, about how blue has always been a very weird color in Force of Will, where the rulers are great, but the blue cards are bad, which is what kind of made IU kind of pop out as she was a blue ruler without having to play blue cards.
Yeah.
If you had control over blue, and you're just like, this is what blue's going to be moving forward, what do you think you would want to see come out of that color?
First things first, reprint Cheshire Cat.
Okay.
That's like where blue got started as a good color, or a splashable color. I can't really, I mean, blue just seems so inherently weak as like the draw card color, but you can't, there's really nothing else that you get out of it except for card draw. So maybe if they printed more blue Ancient Magics, and we could see something like the Mercurius or the Alhamat decks or the Soul decks or something, kind of get to take advantage of that. That's really the only way I could see blue coming back into viability.
Okay, yeah, sweet. We have a question here, thoughts about sealed only, this idea of limited GPs.
I hate sealed.
That's fair.
I'm not good at it. I know that a lot of people enjoy it, and they think the deck building isn't skill intensive, and there's a very small chance of you opening an unplayable card pool. The problem is that at this sealed event at Day 2 of Worlds, I did open an unplayable card pool, and that has left a very bad taste in my mouth about the format ever since then, because they changed the deck size from 20 to 25, and then looking at my sealed pool, I realized I did not have 25 cards between any two colors, and I was forced to play a 3-color deck because I physically did not have enough cards to play a 25-color 2-color deck.
Okay. If you could change those limited GPs in any way possible to still kind of push to the idea of still incorporating limited, what would that look like for you?
I mean, I definitely think I enjoy sealed more than draft.
Okay.
But just as a general, I mean, I would prefer to see more constructed variation, like Wanderer, maybe Rhea Cluster. Although I think Rhea Cluster's not in a good spot for tournaments right now. I'm pretty sure Fair's a little bit oppressive in Cluster only, just mostly due to the lack of dual stones.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people forget about. But I mean, I think sealed's probably, if you're going to do limited, I would prefer you do sealed over draft. So I think they definitely took the right direction with that. I just don't know if sealed or limited GPs was the right direction.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely fair. So with that, your next event that you think you're going to be doing is probably doing like Denver, one of the Canadian events?
Montreal. Montreal should be my next event. It'll be right after the set drops, which, as everybody that knows me and Ryan knows, we absolutely love to go to the first event after a set drop, come in with some stuff that people haven't seen before, try to figure out what's going to come out of the woodworks. And that's always a blast. And I love Canada, I love the Canadian events, the players, the judge staff, everybody's amazing. The country as a whole is great, and I'm really excited to go back to Montreal.
Yeah, awesome, sweet. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here, being part of the crew, and talking to people online, talking to people on stream and everything else. Good luck in other events you go to, and hopefully we'll see you later. We'll definitely see you later in some of the other events that I'll be coming to. And congratulations, and have fun at Worlds.
All right,
back in Japan. Good job.
Thanks.
So guys, that is going to take it for it today. I'm just going to make sure there's nothing else I need to have an announcement wise here. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next. So let me check and make sure. Give me 1 second. So with that, we're all good. We have everything covered. Driz, you don't need an interview.
Well, come on, IU interview, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, this is DMO73 and Driz, I guess. DMO73.